Key pound.
In a world,
Get the hell up.
where Carolina Panthers fans
Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
have an insatiable thirst
I need to see a lot more of that shit going forward.
for Panthers news and opinions.
All my C3 brethren from the C3 Legion.
Only one podcast roars ferociously.
The longest running Panthers podcast on the internet.
It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, Greg, I owe y'all $100, man.
Jaylen Coker balling. Bryce Young dropping dimes, dropping it in the bucket. Tech McMillan looking like the real deal. Did XL, after he apologized, did he apologize for losing a fight or getting in a fight? I want to know that. And the Panthers don't have a single player yet in the top 100. I've been combing through it. I can't find one. There better be somebody to come. I hope there is. You're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast, the longest running Panthers podcast. It's Tuesday night. It's 9 p.m. We're chopping up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. We're talking risers and fallers, according to Joe Person from the Panthers' first preseason game. We'll have your cat calls and more. And each and every Tuesday, I rock with my wheel man, Cody Lack. Good to be back with you, my friend.
Tony Dunn, you already know there's nothing I would rather do on a Tuesday night than be here with my boys talking Panther football. And we have a damn good show prepared for you. Not only do we have all the things that you just mentioned, but scouts have anonymously given their opinion on Bryce Young. We'll take a look at some of those. Is Jalen Coker already the number 2 wide receiver on this roster? Tony, CK, he might be, man. We're going to talk about the rise of Corey Thornton, undrafted free agent out of Louisville, balling out of control, breaking out into a WWE pay-per-view event during a preseason game. And we now know the starting center for the Carolina Panthers. Tony, you know we always do this with the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. We got our boy Anthony Piccarello, the brand ambassador, Diesel Skittles, Darky124, Dylan Justice, my boy DJ holding it down in Hawaii, Harvey London. YouTube gave everyone a brand new nickname, so I'm like struggling. We got our girl KB Swillow in the chat. Paisan Muscles Marinara, happy to see you, brother. Panther Gal, Panther Pickle, the Cardiac Cat, and the Hope Dealer, Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The number is 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Call into the show, leave a message, and we'll play it tonight, and you can get in on the conversation. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button, subscribe wherever you're at, repost, share the show, be a friend, tell a friend, as Pat McAfee always said. You can really help us grow one viewer, one fan, one member of the community at a time. I got a lot to talk about our community tonight. You said Cory Thornton.
Corey Thornton, man.
Will he be a thorn in someone's side?
Yeah.
I don't know, but a man that's not a thorn in my side is CK, the man with the golden pipes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have finally seen the Panthers play some actual football, albeit not, super important football, but football nonetheless. And this is exactly what the Panthers needed to do to build the excitement for the coming season, while also offering a lot more questions than we have answers when it comes to the defense. Boys, I'm happy to be here with you guys talking about Panthers football, talking about what we saw on Saturday or on Friday, and maybe to recap a little bit about our time with Mr. Coker, Jamal Coker, talking about his son, who then goes on to just show out and show up, and most people's opinion, taking that number 2 spot away from XL. That's just something that we have to have a conversation about, and we have to be realistic about what we saw and what we continue to see from this dude.
I hope scores don't matter because it's the preseason and wins don't matter. But Panthers got smoked on the scoreboard. But it's a really kind of an exciting game in so many ways. We got to see the Panthers come out for a couple of series, right? You get to see Shadur, right? A big storyline, and a real focal point of the NFL and NFL talk and the draft. And Bryce Young and the Panthers come out and really show some signs of life, or I think a lot of things that we want to see. I'll maybe dampen some of your spirits a little bit with some of that in a moment. Cody, tonight's show, bad answers from coaches and good plays from free agents. It's time to get into the Tuesday show. What do we got here? Where are we going?
Yeah, man.
I want to talk about this preseason. I know it feels like old news to you guys because you were watching it live on the free-for-all.
Yeah.
The things we get to Tuesday, it feels like a million years ago. But this I'm talking about this preseason game.
Well, how about this? Let's talk about that first before we jump into the show. And by the way, if you guys do not know, somebody asked in the chat, are y'all on Kick? Bro, you know we're on Kick, man. Kick.com/C3 Panthers Pod. And here's a little thing that you could do to help us out. Even if you're watching on YouTube and you want to be in the YouTube chat, have the Kick page up in the background so it shows that we have some viewers. That helps us out tremendously. We would love if you could help us grow our platform on Kick. But
Tony C3 Doug's over there. We'll highlight your comments
sir.
as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to C3 Doug. I know Jake is over there all the time. We got the C3 Legion all over the internet, Professor. But really, I kind of want to get some of your thoughts and opinions from what you saw during the preseason. I feel like, if we're starting with the starters, right, the biggest story was Bryce Young and T-Mac already building that connection. Bryce had a nice deep bomb right in the bread basket for T-Mac to draw right in, and then a would-be touchdown that went right through the hands of T-Mac. He then answered with a thumbs up saying, during the season, that will be a touchdown. I have your back. Jaylen Coker, Tony, we really might have something special in Jaylen Coker. And like CK said, shout out to Jamal Coker, who was kind enough to grace us with his presence last week. Check that interview out on last Tuesday's show if you hadn't already. And on the defensive side of the ball, not a ton to write home about, but the two names off the top of my head, Nick Scorton has a never-ending motor, never gives up on a play, and Corey Thornton out there body slamming folks into the dirt, locking up wide receivers. Tony, it was an abysmal loss. Shadur Sanders put on a great performance.
He did.
But overall, I do like what we saw from some of the players on both offense and defense.
As the Panthers started their ones in the first two series, you're really looking for things to click. I was a little disappointed in the first series. I mean, it's not like, I was walking away upset, right? Is that you're hoping that you're going to dominate these guys, particularly when you hear that they're not playing their ones, right? And so that your ones are going against twos and threes potentially. And I'd have to dig deeper into the Cleveland side about how deep that went on defense and on offense, right? We know that they were on their four-string quarterback as in Shadur. Mm-hmm. But well, it wasn't, I thought there was a little, you're not going to put too much on anything, right? So the first series, I was like a little just whelmed, maybe underwhelmed in the first series. Get the Chuba run, positive. Got a poor throw from Bryce, but I think it was a drop by Chuba. Well, not a drop. It was behind. Yeah, it was like all of this. It looked like there was some pressure. It looked like Bryce was hanging on the ball a little bit too long in that first couple of plays. You didn't just come out and just deal. Okay, no problem there. Second series, though, washed it all away, right? I mean, washed it all away as in, hey, we got almost, you remember when Blackshear, the very first, we had a lot of problems fielding punts, kickoffs and that, right? And so Blackshear struggles with this punt. I think it was a punt or a kickoff. I can't remember. And it was almost like, hey, get the dirt on the jersey. Right. Get a little dirt on the jersey.
That's the point of the preseason.
Right.
And what dirty, man.
And that's why I've been arguing that they should be doing this. Second series, you see everything you want. You see the Panthers be able to run the ball. You see Bryce just drop this. Ted was just dominant. This guy, he looks like
He's
and I
hard
know
to cover.
it really is like, this is the dude that we've been waiting for. Bryce throws that bucket pass right in, getting a little physical, reining it in. They keep marching down the field or getting down the field. And then the play that was really the most impressive was a play that was incomplete, where Bryce puts it on Tet's hip. And Tet had barely turned. He was like, I didn't expect it, bro. It was like on my hip. Like, he was like, you put it in my pocket before I even was
and
ready
you have
to, pay
to
the
imagine
bill.
that that's only going to get better and better
Right.
as they continue to get in the same timing, same rhythm. You know, I'm interested to see if we can finally get that touchdown when we play the Texans this Saturday, which, by the way, C3 is going to be doing another watch along. So join us if you would like to come and watch the fun. But yeah, Tony,
and Coker scores the touchdown next.
And it
so
was a
this is
beautiful
like, you
play
get
from
everything
Bryce.
you want in that,
Yes.
like in that first two drives. In a sense, you get the dust, you get the dirt on the jersey in the first series. The second series, you see them come back, put it all together. You see the guys that you want to see in the game, right? Like, you see Tet, you see this, they're moving, they're doing the right things. And then you see the Bryce that everybody wants to continue to go back to Alabama.
Yep.
Scrambling, pointing,
directing
shaking,
traffic,
doing this,
air
looking.
traffic
He's like, his
control
eyes
out
are
there.
making everybody out of control. And then you get your boy Jalen Coker getting a touchdown.
Yeah.
Very exciting there.
I
ahead,
think it's
CK.
important. You know, one of the things we talked about before the game started, Cody was asking everybody on the Friday Free for All what they needed to see out of this preseason game. And many people were talking about rhythm. Many people were talking about seeing this defensive line hold up, how we can handle the run defense, things along those lines. And, you know, my main thing was making sure that we drafted the guy that we were supposed to in the top 10, as we did, right, with Ted McMillan. And I said, if Bryce and him can come out showing a chemistry, showing that they have the ability to get that connection that we have been asking for, then I think that's a win. Now, here's the problem that I had with this preseason game. And I think Ted McMillan gave us everything we were looking for with that performance. And it absolutely showed that he was a great decision so far at that position. The problem is this defense still blows. And you can talk about all you want to talk about. This defense didn't have Derek Brown, didn't have Jaycee Horn. We were talking about our second string getting wrecked by their second string. Like, we're not talking about our first team going
with
up against
the
their first
string
team
quarterback.
Right. We're talking about they couldn't stop a nosebleed. And even though we had some decent plays and decent players on the field, we were not able to do anything, which takes me right back to the concern that we've had from the beginning of the offseason. And that is that we still have a defensive coordinator that doesn't seem to know how to do this. And I don't know how to do this either. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I can go on the sideline and call the plays. But I tell you what, I don't think I've seen a defense consistently this poor and then somebody keep their job for over 2 years. And from a defensive coordinator position, making it through two different regimes. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. They're continuing to hold on to a guy in Evero that we just have no evidence that this guy is going to be able to do anything positive for this organization. I think I might have been overestimating, thinking he makes it to week 6. He might be out by week 3.
CK, the thing that that made me think of that was the first play that the Browns ran was like a 6-yard run. And it was like up the middle. And I was like, oh, God.
Oh, good grief.
Everything we did was to try to stop the run. We can't stop the run. The first play. We'll have to we're going to really need to look at how this defense continues to kind of gel in some different things. And we'll talk about some of those specifics. I do want to highlight this right before we get too deep into that. I love this comment by Briar Hunt. He says, I love how T-Mac isn't a diva and takes accountability too. Should be a great connection for years. That ball's on the hip He was almost surprised. He was like, "Oh God, it's already here!" Right? And not only he gave Bryce the thumbs up, like it's like good ball. This on me. My favorite part is my man ran and got the football. He was like, "I got to take the lap." Yeah. He went and got the football, brought it back. He was like, "I owe this one. This should have been my touchdown. Should have been my touchdown." He went and got that football.
And listen, you understand why Dave Canales has prioritized having those big body wide receivers on those in-breaking slants and on those seam balls. He's tough to deal with, man. And I know it's so cliche to compare him to like a Mike Evans or a DK Metcalf just because of the sheer size of them. But when you have a guy that's 6'4" and can run a 4.5, that's tough to deal with, man. Some of these
4.46 according to Day.
Yeah, according.
Dave Canales said 4.5. He did. I was like, damn, Dave.
Well, apparently his pro day was a 4.5, but then on laser he ran a 4.6.
Okay.
Whatever, who's counting? Either way, is a tough guy to deal with, and not all of these corners are physically equipped to deal with a receiver as big and as strong as T-Mac, and I think that's going to continue to show itself. Bryce having the wherewithal to direct traffic, and also like one of the things that, for example, Patrick Mahomes does so well is that on those scramble plays, the receivers know that when the quarterback is on the run, don't stop running your route. Continue to move, find open space, and trust that your quarterback is going to find you. And I feel like right now the wide receivers on the team have been working on that, building it. And to me, that touchdown to Jaylen Coker was absolutely a thing of beauty. I did want to mention to CK, the one caveat is that Jonathan Cooley was the one calling the defense during the preseason. But to me, that's still not an excuse because they're running Evero's defense. This is Ejiro Evero's defense. On one of those touchdowns we had dropped, I believe it was DJ Johnson or Princely back into coverage. And again, man, here we are dropping these outside linebackers way back into coverage like they're supposed to be stopping someone. And they're not, man. We're going to have a more in-depth conversation tonight about Ejiro Evero. But no, I echo CK's sentiments in that this defense really, really worries me. And it's the one part of this team that feels like it's a square peg trying to be fit into a round hole.
CK said, wonder if Evero makes it to week 6. Are they asking Cooley to call plays as a tryout for that? I don't know right there.
I don't know. I think it's similar to, I don't know that they're thinking from, I don't think they're playing chess there instead of checkers. I think it legitimately is just they're allowing themselves to, let these guys develop as play callers so that they have an opportunity to maybe move into another position in the future if they end up being sought after at some point. Here's the part. I want to talk about the Ted McMillan thing. That catch, by the way, that 30-yard catch that he caught, like his tracking skills are elite. Like seeing this
one
guy,
hand in this joint.
Think about it like from look, he sees the ball coming from his left shoulder. He has to lose the ball as he moves his eyes back to the right, and to still be able to make that catch. Like a lot of people were like, "That's not a hard." That is a very hard catch to make. Yeah, and he made it look like it was easy. That was incredibly exciting to see. But the issue that you have with T-Mac is going to be there will always be an asterisk next to his name unless this defense improves in a drastic way. Because that was one of the things we said going into this offseason. Like if we're talking about the draft, we needed to take a defensive player because we had the worst defense. And because of what we have seen, it makes it hard for us to say that we should have taken T-Mac with our defense still being the weakest link, continuing its weak link nature from last year. That's the concern I have. T-Mac still, I'm glad he's on the team. Don't get me wrong. And I think we would be disappointed if we saw him catching those types of balls from, somebody in the division even. But I'm telling you, That's the only worry I have is there's always going to be that asterisk that we should have went a different route.
Not
because
if
our
this
team is
offense
worse.
has to put up a bazillion yards and all of a sudden he's got like 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns.
Especially if we do, right? Like this offense for the past few years has been the worst part of the team. You know, it's not hard to see by his last 2 years in college. He was a 1,300-yard wide receiver 2 years in a row. Like the guy has an incredible catch radius. He drops nothing. And he's a big, strong wide receiver.
Makes tough catches.
Yeah.
The one
one
of my favorites was actually in the joint practice in traffic across the middle. You know, I mean,
was that that was the Jalen Coker one. Did you see that one that Jalen Coker mossed somebody?
Oh, that was
a couple of days ago.
I think it was either today or yesterday.
Yeah, it was, dude. It's I tell you what, I don't know when we're gonna have the conversation about XL, but XL just not only did his
he didn't
fight
play, man. He got kicked out.
I know, but the fight made
Can we talk about that? Wait, can we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah.
How do we feel?
Did he win or lose?
Well,
that's what I want to know.
I mean, he kind of lost. He got his helmet ripped off, but
he tried to shoot the legs. He tried to shoot the double legs, didn't get it, got his helmet ripped off.
By the way,
he got a bloody nose.
He has been boxing in the offseason. So
you gotta stand up, bro. Don't shoot the legs. You're a boxer.
He still needs to work a little bit harder. But where do you fall on this? Do you feel like it shows that he has some dog in him, some fight, or was it just stupid and he took himself off of the field when we could have used it?
I think there's a bit of both, in my opinion. I looked at that as the dude isn't going to be pushed around. I don't think he lost. I think dude just took I think he took a weak approach to that fight and grabbed a hold of a helmet that he knew he had the upper hand, being able to utilize instead of using his fists like XL was doing. I think that was just more of a
never throw punches at a guy with a helmet though.
Right. Well, I think he was doing it.
I'm gonna punch. Like he was trying to fight.
Yeah.
Cody, I would go ahead, CK.
But I'll finish this part out. I think the other part of it is that is dumb. Is he basically took himself out of the game and gave that number 2 spot to Jalen Coker and allowed him to shine in a moment that he needed to be on the field.
Maybe
and if he had been on the field, right? Well, I mean, Coker is gonna. I think they are good. I think these guys are all cordial with one another. But when one's taking the job from the other, dude, I think this is going to be a moment that he has to look back on and realize he went from number 2 to number 4 because of his decision to make it into that fight.
I don't. That's too drastic.
What do you mean?
Like as in from 2 to 4, right?
No,
like, I don't.
He's
I
going
don't
to
really
2 to 4
that.
because he's going to go behind Thielen. Thielen isn't going to drop that back to 4 because XL had that.
I think this is that. Look, he was a first-round draft pick. He's not losing his roster spot, right? Like he won't lose his roster spot. He did give Coker a good boost in trying to make the roster, or obviously bursting the bubble.
I feel like
to answer your question, Cody, is like if this was a regular season game, then it's a giant mistake to where you do take yourself off the field, right? Preseason game, the stakes are a lot lower, right? Is like you're playing bumper cars and you smash into something. You're not running NASCAR. I mean, I don't know if I'd say dog. I like it. It kind of sucks because he's a giant ass man.
Yeah.
I think this is like it kind of reminded me of that Adrian Peterson video where Adrian Peterson's trying to fight that guy in like the Shriners Club after playing poker, and Adrian Peterson is this giant man and he was scared to get hit, and this regular dude got the better of him.
Boxed him up. Yeah, I saw that.
Like it's just like, God, XL is you're a giant man. You shot the legs. You got mad. He got mad. I mean,
I understand.
This is emotion, but you know what? I really don't care. I really like at the point I didn't walk away going, "Oh my God, XL problem." Steve Smith was fighting everybody. His own teammate.
I mean, I'm not tripping about it too much. I do think that there is some truth to what CK is saying, and it's not that he would lose a roster spot, but he might lose favorability. No, favorability with the quarterback if Bryce trusts T-Mac and Coker or a Thielen or a Hunter more than XL, then that's a detriment to excel. And listen, I have it in the show today. We're going to talk about it more in depth, but I kind of feel like even Dave Canales in his press conference took a little bit of a subtle shot at Xavier Legette when big upping Jalen Coker. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's going to be something really interesting to follow. Listen, I still believe that Xavier Legette has a ton of good football left in him, but he is going to have to shut up the doubters. No one is going to do it for him but himself. He has to continue to have development and have a big year this year in this offense and show why the Panthers moved back into the first round to draft him. So we're going to have to continue to see that growth and elevation. Shout out to our girl, Kristen Butler, been a member for 25 months as the defense was shining again with the 4-3, damn it. And then Mr. Big Boy Swagger
Thank
with
you,
the
brother.
$2 says Carolina was born in the 3-4. See Dom Capers. So telling us to pump the brakes, not panic.
You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. One super chat begets another super chat. Thank you for your generosity. You can support the show by being a avid participant in the chat. Like my man said, hold on, where did it go? I had it queued up. He said, where'd it go? He said, Stratted 843 says Coker catches TD, Legette catches fades. Ugh. Yeah. All right. So
the narrative is not moving in his direction right now. No.
Come on. I mean, look, he had a great offseason. Legette had a great offseason. Let's turn it into a great season. Tonight's show, bad answers from coaches and good plays from free agents. Ugh. I want to know this is why the hell did you pick this title? Bad answers from coaches.
Where was your title? What would you have?
No, I mean, I just want to know. Look, I mean, we're wordsmith.
Evero did give a bad answer today, but he was being roasted for it thoroughly.
Okay.
And the free agent is undrafted free agent, but I didn't want to make the title too long.
Sure.
Corey Thornton might legitimately be this year's Jaylen Coker, a diamond in the rough for Dan Morgan.
On your side, Thornton in your side.
Yeah, boy. I'm loving it. But boys, let's start where all the air in the room goes to, and it normally does. It's our quarterback, Bryce Young. And this is the time of year where CBS puts out these articles where they ask a bunch of scouts and executives and coaches anonymously to give their opinion on players around the NFL. And CBS put out this article, Bryce Young believers still sparse. NFL executives and coaches share anonymous opinions on the Panthers quarterback for Bryce Young. His upcoming 2025 season is his perfect year for the Carolina Panthers. Entering the third year of his rookie deal, the former number 1 overall pick needs to show more positive development reflected down the stretch last fall to warrant a long-term extension for the future. Coming out of Friday's preseason debut against the Browns, some NFL executives remain unsure if Young can ever rise to the second tier of quarterback in the NFL. Over the final 3 starts of the last season, Young managed 7 touchdown passes with an interception, rushed for 3 touchdowns, flexed a 64.7 completion rate, probably better than his career average. One exec said, don't get fooled by the final games of a season when you're out of it and teams you are playing are out of it. One opposing coach told The Athletic. That is where the production came from. Everyone is excited about it. Now you start the season over again. You're playing teams that are game planning seriously and have a lot to play for. So there's still a lot of trepidation around if Bryce Young will be able to take the next step for the Panthers. And I understand it because even I'm a little bit of the mindset. I want to see it first. I want to see him have sustained success from the start of the season through to the end of the season. Another coach said, I just don't know if there's enough talent to really become a tier 2, to be honest. Boys, how do we feel about that?
I don't care what they go ahead, CK.
I say again, same thing we've said. I mean, it's still going to be a prove it situation for Young. I mean, I think that he has the capability, and we've seen it for him to be the point guard of this offense. And His confidence being at an all-time high, I think, can only be a positive for him moving into the next phase of his career. But I don't think it's fair to say that they're calling his size again an issue. And again, all of these same people are people that most likely would say Drew Brees should be a Hall of Famer. It's such a two side to this coin situation where they're making a statement in this case, but most likely would have an argument for the opposite given the career that Drew Brees had. I don't think that it's fair to say that. It's understandable that they have the opinion they do because we need to see long-term success, but they're also clearly not educated on how he performed against the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Go write a blog about it. Browner played well. These guys played hard.
Go write a blog about it. That's all I gotta say. That's all these. And I know. Look, this our job or our hobby, whatever we call this, with our passion, whatever we do, we just do this for fun up here. Is we're talking, maybe to hear our voices, to this and that. But I've tried to get away from speculation. Right? It's like, this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. I went on Pirate Radio this past week on Friday. I was on my vacation. They called me. Thankfully, I had my phone. I was actually checking my phone for like the one time. I put my phone away a lot, guys. It was really good. And I forgot they were going to call me, and I just happened to be texting my kid, and it rang. But they asked me about this basically, like going into that game. Like, what do you think about Bryce season? I said, look, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even really I need it to work. I need this to work. For my own mental health, for the health of this podcast, for the health of Panther fans, I need Bryce Young to work. I need this mug, and I don't know what that means necessarily. They asked me, actually, I said I need it to work. I can't have it not work, and because Nick and I will talk a lot about my boy Nick Montero, great member of the C3 Legion and great buddy and friend of ours, and wonderful example of how this podcast has just been more than about the Panthers, but about friendships, right? But Nick and I were talking, he was like, look, Nick became a Panthers fan in 2018. Think about that poor fella. That poor fella drives from Massachusetts to go to Panthers games.
Yeah, he missed out on the Super Bowl season, too.
No, he ain't never seen a winning season, homie. He's never seen a winning season. And we're getting into this period to where it's been so long. Like, we used to complain and cry about not having 2 back-to-back winning seasons. Now we're like on the quest for a decade run of loss. I don't know what's going to happen with Bryce, but I need this mug to work. I need it. We need it. Because if it doesn't, you know what that means? We're back to whatever that drawing board is. And that drawing board is trying to either draft a quarterback, find a bridge quarterback. It's trying to find a Geno Smith or Sam Darnold. By the way, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield are in the top 100 of NFL players. Both of them. And there are no Panthers yet. How about that? So I don't want to walk into that world again. I just want Bryce to work. And for him to work, it has to happen this season. Then they asked me a tough question. What does that mean? Does that mean you got to win 9 games, 10 games? I said, no, it doesn't necessarily. I don't know. It's not only translated in wins, but wins do matter, right? Like, so if the Panthers come out and win 4 games, it's going to be a tough, everybody's going to get. That means everybody's failing in a sense.
Yeah.
But I need at the end of the season, what I mean for it to work is for us to walk away and say, this guy was.
Go write a blog about it.
Just go write a blog about it, bro.
These guys
like you're
hard.
just saying shit to say shit. Yes. Is that Bryce Young could not be overwhelming. He could be whelming, could be underwhelming. I don't know. But I need this dude to just crush this year. And I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for the Panthers. I need it. I need it from my heart, my soul.
We're all rooting for him, man. If the Panthers have a good year this year, it's going to be because Bryce Young takes that next step and proves himself to be worth that number 1 overall pick that we traded all that to go up and get. listen, I like being slept on. I've said for a long time the best Carolina Panthers are a slept on Carolina Panthers. I think that a lot of the best players in the NFL have probably been pretty slept on before they blew up. And I'm hoping that Bryce Young can do that same thing. Like I said, in that preseason game, seeing him directing traffic, he was so good rolling out at Alabama, getting outside the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, being that general behind center that controls everything and is able to be the maestro of all the chaos. So, yeah, man, if he's able to continue to take that next step this year, I don't give a fuck about what these anonymous buffoons have to say about our quarterback. Let them doubt him. And I even hope that he reads some of that. Like, I hope that to some degree, Bryce knows what is said about him. He doesn't seem to be. He doesn't really seem to be the type of person that's like scouring Twitter to see what people are saying.
You don't have to read the internet to know, though.
Yeah, right. Exactly, right. And, they put it on ESPN and NFL Network in the locker rooms, which is, by the way, the same thing now. But I'm hopeful that this year is going to be him taking the next step and really showing everybody why he was the number 1 overall pick. And my final thing is it's going to be interesting again, even though it's preseason, to see him on the same field as CJ Stroud this Saturday. And, the Houston Texans, they revamped their offense with a lot of weapons. We did the same thing for Bryce. So it ought to be fun, man. It ought to be a fun time.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Jaylen Coker has been in
Burst
the news.
the bubble.
Coker is the man, dude. Listen, I put this out on Twitter. In our fantasy dynasty league that our boy White Chocolate Espresso runs, people were clowning me because I traded Jerry Jeudy away, and he's the number 1 wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, and I traded him away for Jalen Coker. So I am a believer in what Coker is doing, and if you continue to listen to what's being said at practice, what Canales is saying, and that preseason performance, my man is balling right now. Panthers head coach Dave Canales asked if wide receiver Jalen Coker is on the roster bubble. Surprisingly enough, Tony, there were many with this opinion who were saying that Coker flat out might not make the roster after starting training camp slow.
Joe Person was one of the people that threw it out there. You remember, like, Panther fans came after him so much he almost like issued an apology.
Yeah, I do remember that. After an impressive showing in the team's first season on Friday, Coker continued to shine at practice. The 23-year-old receiver secured a pair of long passes during Monday's session, one of which would have resulted in a 45-yard touchdown. I'm going to play a clip of Canales, but against the Cleveland Browns on Friday, Coker tallied 17 yards on 2 receptions, one of which was for a 5-yard score off the hand of the starting quarterback, Bryce Young. He also would have had a one-handed 32-yard catch to the box score had the incredible play not been offset by penalty. Tony, I know it's early. I don't really believe in jinxes and shit like that, but I have to say, man, I feel like we have a burgeoning superstar on our hands, man. Jaylen Coker is him. He catches everything. He's faster than you expect him to be. I think this year might be a huge year for Jaylen Coker in this Panthers offense.
Do we have that video of the Moss, him mossing somebody in practice? That's the one. Here's the thing is, like, he did it. Now that the evidence is becoming too much, right? Like, the data is becoming overwhelming, right? Like, it's like, oh, he had a couple of big plays, he had a good run on a bad team. They're airing it out. There's nobody else last year, right? Mm-hmm. Then you come into this preseason. There's so many people on the roster. Oh my, we know, like, you had these show-ins, but, like, look, this is the big leagues. this and that, right? And then he starts doing it in practice, starts doing it in training camp early, right? He's like never missed a beat, right? He's always just eating, fighting. Then he gets the preseason game, and he's like not just one play. It was like multiple plays in the preseason game. He's just fucking great. And then after the preseason game, they come in to training camp practice the next 2 days, and all you see is him making play after play. At some point, the data becomes freaking overwhelming. It becomes this. It's not like it's verification. It's like right now, I don't see any moment how the Panthers, they can't, like, yes, the guy, I don't know if he's gonna be a superstar, but the boy is balling. Boy's balling. If he becomes a star, I'd be happy. If he ecstatic. If the guy just has a good career and makes it. Let's just say this motherfucker has already done more than Brenton Burson did. And that guy was on a Super Bowl team and made it all the way in the season. Jalen Coker, he needs to be on this team.
Yes, he does. This is what Dave Canales had to say about Jalen Coker. And to me, I also felt like part of this is a subtle shot at Xavier Legette, but we're going to talk about it.
I mean, hopefully, up to now, like, we're going to play the best guys and the guys that we can count on, the guys that make plays, the guys that make the catch. Out of Tracy Smith's dad, Tater Smith, Tater would always say, a receiver is good is when you throw it to him to catch it, and Jalen has really showed to be one of the more reliable guys that we have, whether it's contested or he's, open in space. He plays strong to the ball, and, he had 2 really amazing plays in the go ball where he went up over JT Broughton and kind of took it, off of his shoulder and finished the play finished on his feet and ran the ball into the end zone. And he keeps showing us like that. He's going to be on the field playing, there's no doubt about it. So, we love all of our guys. I have high hopes for this group in general, but that's the nature of competition. And that's what it does is all of a sudden you see people elevate and rise and really show who they are.
Cody, I've always said that competition, when they say there's competition, it's kind of bullshit. Like it's like for the last 5 spots on a roster. That's where the competition is at. And maybe this is actually a last 5 spot on the roster type position group, but the subtle shot, I heard it.
Yeah, I think everybody did, man. The good receivers are the ones who catch it. And shout out to Mr. Big Boy Swagger. He says Coker doesn't have XL speed. XL can beat his man and get open. Well, I'm telling you what, Jalen Coker is also doing that same thing. He might not have Xavier's speed, but I believe that Coker has proven to have the better hands.
Separation and speed, pad speed. Like, I started saying this is like, and I'm sure we'll talk about Jimmy Horn Jr. and how fast and all this he is and this and that. But like Tet is like, he might not be the fastest in the league, but he's fast. He gets separated. Like he's too big for you to just get up on his ass. Like you can't just, and worry about his speed by giving him 10-yard shade. He's too big then, right? Is Coker at no point has he looked slow? Like the mug's getting separation. No. He's getting open. He's doing all the things. Like he's fast enough.
Yeah. And listen, you hear about the plays that he's making. I believe Canales alluded to one of the ones that you were talking about, Tony, going up over the head of the defender, grabbing the ball, taking it off of his shoulders. Like he is aggressive when the football is in the air. And then he had those incredible plays last year as well. He had that, what was it, CK, like a 65-yard touchdown run. Like the dude is way more athletic than he's given credit for. I don't know if you heard this, Tony, but when we were interviewing his father, Jamal Coker, he said that his receiver that he sort of looked up to growing up was Michael Thomas. Oh, and I know that a lot of us Panther fans have no love for Slant Man, but when you see the aggression of how he takes the ball out of the air and doesn't drop anything, how his routes are precise, they're on time, he is going to continue to be a highly dependable target for Bryce Young this year. And I'm sorry, right now I don't know that XL has proved himself to be quite the hand catcher that Jalen Coker is. So, yeah, I feel like a lot of people in Panthers Nation are already starting to say that Coker is wide receiver number 2. However, I do agree that it's a good problem to have a wide receiver room that's this deep in terms of depth.
Yeah, I wish we had that video today. I saw it earlier. Should have flagged it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was the Panthers. The Panthers posted it, but it wasn't yesterday. Today, I think it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. The piece of this with what Dave Canales is saying here, it absolutely is. I don't know if you would say it was a shot at Excel, but I think it's exactly what we all. If we read between the lines, it's not hard to be able to kind of connect the dots there. Interesting thing, and I know we're going to bring up the unofficial depth chart later. They just released that about an hour ago, the unofficial depth chart.
2 weeks in a row now, they've released the depth chart right before we do our show.
Yeah, and so this one has Coker still behind XL, which is a slight surprise to me, because it does feel like maybe that should have changed, because from everything I've seen, Coker, even in practice, and everything, has outperformed XL. Now, we've only seen and heard what we've seen through media and through the small clips that they are putting out there. But as of right now, I am curious to see how that will end up shaking up. Listen, I don't think it's panic mode on XL. XL didn't drop a pass, which is the biggest concern me and most people are having from last year. He didn't really catch one is the issue. And so being in this situation is... He did himself no favors coming off the field, because we did not get a chance to see what he was capable of, and that it's frustrating, because I am a XL believer. I think that the dude can still turn it on, but man, Jaylen Coker is making this a very hard decision when it comes to who's going to be that number 2 out there on the field come week 1.
He really is. And Kev says y'all didn't give XL excuses, so none for the top 10 pick. And the difference is, Kevin, is that T-Mac doesn't have an entire season of dropping passes in some very big-time moments that would have won us a football game. So this narrative has to be broken around Xavier Legette. And I'm a believer in him. I do think that he can, and I do think that he will. Shout out to G Baby. He's not a fan of XL. He's already giving him the nickname Extra Lotion.
Yeah, this is so good. So funny.
So stupid, bro. Yeah, but listen, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to go into this depth chart here in a second. But boys, how about this? There was a battle on the roster, and we now know who the winner of that battle is. Also, shout out to J Baby. He's the one who called this. Austin Corbett.
Yeah, we all knew this was going to happen.
I don't know, man.
I did. I said
made
it
a good decision, a good competition, rather. But Austin Corbett, nonetheless, did win. The competition for the starting center spot is over. Panthers head coach Dave Canales said Monday that the team is moving forward with the veteran Austin Corbett in the middle after he and Cade Mays competed throughout the spring. Corbett, who will turn 30 prior to the start of the regular season, started at center for the first 5 games last year before it was lost to torn biceps. Are y'all okay with this? I mean,
Yes.
Obviously I know you are, but is there any surprise to this?
No surprise. What's interesting is what this changed today. When after this was made official, I guess you would say, the question was, what would Cade Mays, he's going to obviously not take starting reps at center. What he was doing was taking starting reps at left guard without Robert Hunt without
Damian
Lewis.
Who's out? Should we be worried about that? Is that minor injury?
They said it's week to week. I don't know.
Okay.
They didn't really elaborate too much on what the expectation is there. I don't think we would need to worry, but it is interesting to see that a guy in Corbett who has experience at the guard position playing at a decently high level, they would rather him stay at the center position instead of Cade Mays being at the center position that he played at a pretty high level last year. Like, it seems to me the logic would be you would slide Corbett over to the guard position and let Cade Mays handle that center position because we know he can play center. At least in the short, stint that he did it for us there last year. I don't know, man. I really don't know what to take from it. I think we all expected this. A lot of us expected this, just, myself included. But it is interesting and maybe a bit telling to see that they moved Cade Mays to left guard.
I think that is developing reps at depth with the guy that you're going to start on day one with Austin Corbett. And I thought this is Austin Corbett was going to start because he's a better player. And he really is almost, I think, better at center at this point in his career, right? Like, it's kind of like a Ryan Khalil, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting a little long in the tooth, and it seems like you get to call out, like, your veteranship really is a value. I just believe this is, like, for me, it's just Austin Corbett's always struggled with injury. So I just thought he's going to start for the first 6 weeks till he gets hurt.
It's a great problem to have, for the first time in a long time. We are deep on offensive line depth. So the fact that we do have Cade Mays who can be slotted in there at a moment's notice, that really reassures me. I know it does a lot of other Panther fans. Dave Canales says we decided to make the decision knowing that this week going to Houston with the joint practice and then having the game, we felt like those reps just kind of solidifying who's the starter going to be with Bryce Young. It's a good time to kind of have a transition where he's getting more reps, more of those reps versus split. Canales described the competition as really close, but cited Corbett's experience and leadership as a factor. And it is those small things that will put somebody over the edge. But like I said, I do think that Cade Mays has the potential to be a starting center in the NFL. He was a top 5 player coming out of college when he committed to Georgia. I think that he's starting to play his best football right now. So I love the fact that knowing that we do have Cade Mays behind him is good for a player who has been as injury prone as Austin Corbett in recent years.
All right, well, let's keep rolling.
Let's do it. All right.
Oh,
are y'all ready to talk about this defense, man?
No.
Let's fucking do it anyway, man. We have no choice, bro. No choice. This is from Dean Jones on Cat Crave. It took one Panthers preseason game to melt Ejiro Evero's hot seat. The augmented coordinators around the league under more pressure than Ejiro Evero heading into 2025. The once highly touted coach could have done without another capitulation from his Carolina Panthers defense in their preseason opener. Evero got a reprieve from the Panthers this offseason despite overseeing a historically bad campaign. Canales didn't have the personnel to implement his contentious 3-4 base scheme effectively. I like how we say contentious because it definitely is.
It is among fans.
Yes, giving up the most single points in NFL history and more than 3,000 rushing yards was a complete embarrassment. And you do well to avoid a repeat this time around. This wasn't the best start to silencing his doubters. The Panthers were without 2 linchpins on defense, Derek Brown and shutdown corner Jaycee Horn, whom any team would miss. But aside from a few flashes from certain individuals, it was another disappointing performance. So, Tony, CK, there are some people in the chat room who are refusing to panic over this because it was a preseason game. CK, I know you were sort of more worried about it. Where do y'all fall on this, man?
I think
are y'all panicking?
I think we should put a poll up of should it be ever no or ever go? God, that's all I got. That's all I got. It's like, look, is what we've done is this is we had a historically bad defense. We've had a really terrible run at defense for a long time. Let's not just put it on this past season. CK and I were both on the Fool's Gold the year before and all of this. It was bad before ever go or ever know we got here as well. It's tough as Panther fans to see a defense that is as strong as a wet paper bag. I don't know if is that the preseason game isn't going to tell me what this defense is going to be. You know, I mean, they're going to be, I hope, better than they were last year and better than they were in that preseason game. What it does do is it gives us a big dose of humble pie in that, like, oh, you drafted this, you did this, and all of a sudden things are going to be better. And the problem is you draft this, you do this, and you get more suck. It's ever nowhere, ever go. I don't know. That's all I got. I mean, CK, the first run was like for 6 yards. First run. I was like, man, I thought all we tried to do was stop the run.
So let me read the money down. I'll let CK go off on this. Shout out to VR, the Hope Dealer. It says no excuses for Evero this year. We put a lot of money into getting him new players. Coach him up. No injury excuses. Put up or shut up. The 3-4 is a thumbs down. Talk to him, CK. I'm gonna put this poll up.
Listen, I don't care who was calling plays during the game on the preseason. This is a continuation of all of the exact same issues, maybe even worse, because we were allowing guys to just run wide open down the field. You know, this is nothing to take away from Shadur Sanders. I think he came out and put the ball where he needed to put it. Granted, he didn't really move the ball until our first team, semi-first team came out of the game.
Right, though.
But with
the first team.
He had 3 and outs 2 times, and
but
then
he got it to like
out.
it was like to 4th and 1, and then they punted.
Right, but my point is he wasn't moving. He had some pretty horrible throws in those first 2 drives. Now, granted, he settled in and he got dropped some dimes in the bucket, right? And so that's he absolutely turned it on there towards the end. I'm not ready to crown him, but I think he showed that he should have been drafted well before the 5th round.
I agree.
From what he put out there on the tape on Friday. But that also is going against a defense that historically was the worst in the NFL last year. And it's the 3rd stringers and the 4th stringers on that defense. So I don't even know how much I would, I don't know how much of that is Shadur just killing us and how much of that is our defense is just god awful. The scheme just isn't working. Whatever they're trying to teach these guys, it doesn't feel like it's connecting because it just feels like it's the same things over and over again. And now we have an extra layer to it. Not only can we not stop the run, we're just letting everybody throw the ball down the field at any position that they want to throw the ball down the field. Again, 2nd, 3rd, 4th string, not going to sit here and panic button, but the fact that it becomes a pattern is absolutely a concern. And as I said towards the beginning of the show, I may have been overestimating the fact that we might keep him on for 6 games before we fire him. I could see if this continues, if this trend happens to pick back up at the beginning of the year, I don't know that we can have him stay on the field after 3 weeks. Especially, here's what I think is going to be the catalyst to this. If our offense is humming, buzzing, rhythm, everything it needs to be, if that happens, there is no time to waste on having a defensive coordinator in there any longer than that 3 weeks. Because you have any longer, you're risking having an actual competitive year, and you're really putting a lot of problems on your offense.
I do think Shadur did what he does, and that he plays, man.
Yeah.
Like he plays, like you put him in the junior.
He's the second best quarterback on that roster.
Yeah, easily. I'm almost say he's the best. I've been saying it before that game.
Joe Flacco did good a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but he's also like
40 years old. Yeah.
And I'm not, but Shadur is one of, look, is nothing, all of the stock and all the crap about Shadur was about how he acted and behaved in his dad, right? It was the diva. It was this, like he walked into, he went into an interview with a team that he didn't want to be drafted by, and he just wore his headphones during the interview or something. I mean, yes, it is. That is ridiculous. And I'm sure if it is, and I don't even know if we can believe those stories, but if those are the story, if those are true, then yes, those are problems that there are issues that would cause you to not want to draft somebody. But like Shadur has performed at every moment, right? Like he performed when he was at Jackson State, then he performed at Colorado.
It wasn't even Shadur. It was them running the football.
But he played well in this game.
Too.
You know what is that the team had not given him any reps at all in any of the stuff, right? Like, I mean, it's like It seemed, and maybe I'm buying into it, and I have been like, I like to latch on to these like the man holding people down stuff type narratives. But like it's just been kind of funky surrounding him. Like the whole you kind
of get the Cam Newton kind of vibe.
Yeah, but then he actually got the real shit in because like not only did he not get drafted high, like not only are people doubting him, they're not giving him reps. They were talking about like trading him. I saw one story a few weeks ago that was like he's already working on a CFL deal. I was like, what the fuck? And he does play, man. He made some really good throws out there.
They're not going to let him.
I know it
walk
wasn't
out.
perfect, but if we would have drafted him and that was his performance in the preseason, good and bad together, you would be like, you can work with this. So like, I'm not trying to give our defense a pass, but I almost want to say Shadur played. He needed to play like this. He truly needed to play like this to continue to dispel the narrative, to fight off all this shit, to make the Browns look stupid, to make the NFL look stupid. It does suck that he made the Panthers defense look stupid at times.
Yeah, I mean that's the part. And here's the thing: the people who say we're panicking over a preseason game, we're not panicking over a preseason game. We're
panicking over 8 years of fucking terrible defense.
We're panicking over a pattern that has emerged. And that this year it doesn't seem to be improving. And again, I will take you back. If you want to go back in the VOD and look at when I started talking about this, I said there is a caveat here. And that is that this was the second, third, and fourth string that were getting roasted. I agree with that. I think that there is something to be said about that. But it's also our second team versus their second and third team that we were getting roasted by. It wasn't like we were getting roasted by their first team. And that is still the concern, is if it's dollar for dollar second team offense versus second team defense, it shouldn't be that one-sided. And if it is, then that can almost guarantee that it's going to boil down to coaching.
CK, if we can't panic about their threes against our twos on their offense versus our defense, can we celebrate our ones versus their twos on offense versus their defense?
I think we can celebrate our those situations because it wasn't who we were going against in my mind. It was the placement of Bryce Young's the ball there on the sideline, the fact that he was able to escape the pocket and he was able to command the field even on the run like he did. And he placed the ball where he needed to be. Is it going to be that easy against the first team? No. I don't think it's going to look that easy. But we needed that rhythm to show up on that field that day, and we did. We saw it. So it's worth celebrating. It's not enough to make you say, I'm going to buy into this team being like a top 10 offense this season.
Sure,
but it's worthy
but
of
if we're going to dismiss entirely our defense because they didn't have, because they're going, it's not our guys. And here, you go ahead and get in there, Cody, and read the super chat.
Yeah, but part of the reason why Ejiro Evero was even brought back in the first place was because of the injuries that we sustained last year. They gave him the benefit of the doubt for not having a full enough defensive roster. We do have some chatters telling us to pump the brakes. Dynasty King with the $5 C3 bomb says, please stop overreacting. Most important positions in the 3-4, nose tackle and linebackers. Absolutely 2 position we have 0 of. I mean, that's still not a great thing. And I think this is what Chocolate Espresso's point is. What it shows is that we have no depth. And I think that is something that we've been talking about a lot this offseason. The linebacker room is abysmal when it comes to depth. That's just a simple fact of the matter.
Every room, it feels like.
Tershawn Gordon, one of the free agents that we signed, didn't look great in preseason. I'm not panicking about that either. But shout out to the brand ambassador. It says 9 teams gave up 30 points week 1 in preseason. So listen,
One of those, I don't think the points alone, guys, is because they had like a short drive, they had a long kickoff return. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just points.
There's a lot.
That's not what we're talking about. I don't care about the points. I'm talking about this. Is that like they just moved the fucking ball?
Yeah,
the whole time.
The final thing that I will say though, and we're getting to get into some more of it with Jaycee Horn, and it's actually a good segue, is that I feel like so many times we are not playing our best players in a position to be successful. And I feel like one of the things that I'm sort of worried about, if you watch the Panthers blueprint, they made it a point to talk about how important the versatility of a lot of these players are, which makes me think that some of these players are going to be moving a lot, which can signal to me that you have a jack of all trades, but a master of none.
The worst.
At a lot of these different positions, and I don't love that. And out of every coach on the roster, Ejiro Evero is the one who feels like it doesn't fit into what we're doing here in Carolina. There's just something that's off about it. I don't know. Obviously, I'm hoping that I'm proven wrong and that the defense is on fire. But to not have Jaycee Horn, to not have Derek Brown, that's a big time blow to the defense.
But it's their twos. It's their twos.
Too.
I'm tired of this.
I know, but it was
excuse after excuse after excuse.
Yeah.
You're talking about our backups versus their backups, this and that. Talking about a guy that Shadur Sanders, that's the 4th-string quarterback. You know, it's not like you're playing your twos against their ones or your threes against their I felt like we're celebrating a Panthers offense that was going against the guys that won't be their full-time defense. But then we're giving a pass in so many ways to the guys that are on defense that are going to be playing higher positions and more important positions against guys on their offense that were not expected to be as good. I'm not walking away here. Did not walk away from this game going, oh, the Panthers are going to stink. I didn't even say the Panthers defense was going to stink. I would say this, CK, is very simple. As I watched the first 2 drives against their offense, I said I thought we were going to be better. That's all I said. I hoped we would be better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we all were hoping to see some progress. Like nobody who's legitimately a fan of this team wants this to be the outcome. Like for real, like nobody wants to see this team continue to perform at a very low level. And we wanted this defense to be better. So far, we haven't seen any progress. We haven't seen any movement in the right direction.
Not noticeably.
But how much do you think it matters that we didn't have Derek Brown and Jaycee Horn?
I think this is that we're always going to say shit like that. We're always going to say stuff like that. You know what? Every preseason game, you're going to say, well, we didn't have that. Wouldn't they say this? What do you think of Brown's podcast right now is like, as we're celebrating Bryce Young dropping buckets and this and that and running around doing a scramble drill going, well, we didn't have Myles Garrett out there. We didn't have this. You know, I mean, like we can always say any of this shit. It's just like the defense just was meh. Yeah. And I don't care who the fuck is out there. I don't care who the players are out there, is this and that. It was just meh.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, at the same time, I don't think you can make the argument that them not being out there had much of an impact because we were going up against their second team offense.
Right.
Like it's not, again, if they were out there and we just performed okay, we would be arguing, well, we really don't have a sample size against any real talent to be able to justify saying that we're an improved defense. It was
about to celebrate this guy Thornton who just body slammed dude.
Well,
and then he's gonna make a team. I think we get too hype on too smaller things.
Yeah,
well, we will see. We're going to talk about Cory Thornton, who's surprisingly low on the depth chart. But look, we cannot have a full-fledged Ejiro Evero discussion if we're not talking about one of the things about this man that frustrates Panther fans the most, and it's how we do not let Jaycee Horn travel. When asked about it in his press conference, this is what he had to say.
Are you able to share with us whether or not we'll see Jaycee Horn travel any this season? Not sure about that right now. Not into the game planning part of it. So we're just trying to develop our skills, but we'll see that. We'll see about that coming soon, I'm sure.
Bro,
Now, is he
bro,
just
hold
not,
on.
Is
Here's
he just
this-
not
Fired.
revealing his cards, or is he literally saying that we have not yet determined whether or not we are going to let Jaycee Horn shadow the offensive team's number one wide receiver?
Missed opportunity for a comic. We know one thing is Double E is not going to be a comic going on, because he should say is I'm not sure if he's going to travel to Houston. That's all he should have said, is like, I'm not sure if he's going to is he going to travel this season? I'll be like, I'm not sure if he's going to go with us to Houston. He's got stitches in his thumb. That's the end of the conversation. Right. You kill it, you walk off, you might drop it.
I don't think that I think this answer, again, this question is a no-win situation for Evero. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on this and say that while this is the worst answer you could possibly give in this environment, I don't know that there was a right answer to give. Like, you could say, yeah, he's going to be traveling, but if that is in fact something that you feel like is giving way too much of your game plan away, then I think that is concerning. If he legitimately, in his mind right now, they have not started the game plan about what they're going to do with Horn over the season, like, what have they been doing this offseason?
He could almost say this is like, look, Horn's top corner in this league. He getting paid top corner money. We're going to make him do whatever the fuck we want him to do. We want him to travel to Houston. We'll make him get on the plane. We want to make him travel from side to side. We'll do it. If our game plan says this and that, he going to do it. He a dog. He missed an opportunity right there. He could have just diverted the whole question, saying he's not we're not sure if he's traveling to Houston.
So why doesn't he know how to do this better as someone who was previously being mentored as a head coach, as a future head coach?
It's easy for us to pick on responses.
But also, when you have a talent like Jaycee Horn, who we're getting ready to talk about here in just a minute, or now essentially,
we were talking about.
Yeah, we are talking about Jaycee Horn. I mean, this is a big time year for JC. We just paid him that giant contract. Why is he not shadowing the number one wide receiver for the offense? I feel like a lot of the best in the game do. People would try to come at me and say, like, oh, even the best don't always shadow. Bullshit. When you have a shutdown corner like a Sauce Gardner, like a Derek Stingley, these dudes are traveling when they're going up against the best of the best. I really fear that Jaycee Horn is not going to get the credit that he deserves until we start to utilize him better in this defense. And I think that has been a fair assessment to make. Remember that Ejiro Evero was the guy that did not know for the life of him how to utilize Jeremy Chin, to the point where Jeremy Chin and Frankie Louvu.
By the way, Frankie Louvu, top 100 player.
Out of here.
Frankie Louvu made the top 100.
They
I have a real question.
To play with Ejiro Evero, and I think that says something.
I have an honest question for the panel and for people in the chat about the shadow and the scheme thing, because I'm an eyeball. I'm just a fan. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know enough. I don't know enough. I know some about X's and O's. I've watched football for 20 years. But I'm not an expert. I don't claim I am a eye test type of guy. But if you're playing a zone defense, right? My understanding is that there are areas of the field that you're accountable for.
Right.
Right. So if you want to play a zone defense, why can't you also have your play? Why can't you just flip the side? Why can't you play a zone defense still, but like you have the best receiver on this side? And you say, you know what, JC, this time we're still playing zone, but we want you on this side of the zone because I think their player is what? You worried about him just trailing over to the other side the whole time? Is that what you're worried about?
I think that's the argument in that case, is like, if you're playing zone, basically you stay on your side no matter what, right? Now you can line up on the side that has that receiver, but if they send him in motion, you're not going to follow him normally. So I don't know what the answer is to that. Again, I don't know enough about this.
All right, so motion, you can motion to zone to find out. All right, that's reasonable. But still, you're not going to change anyway. How about this? What if you played this? What if you played the other way and they motion? Like, it's still going to be the same. He ain't traveling either way. So if you're still sticking to the scheme,
that's what I mean. I agree with you. I think that the fact that he has, number one, I think Jaycee Horn has proven himself to be a good cornerback on the field. I don't think anybody can argue against that, even with the injury woes that we've seen from him over his first few seasons in the NFL. But what I think is always going to be the asterisk, again, talking about asterisks here, is going to be that he isn't constantly on the number one. You can argue, you can talk about, pull up his quarterback rating against him when the ball is coming his way against some of the best receivers in the NFL. Sure, you can do that. But the sample size versus the actual top cornerbacks in the league is going to be minuscule because of the way they play him. And that is a problem in my mind.
CK, you know what else I believe is a problem? I'm looking at this chat room and I've noticed, bro, there are 97 freaks chilling in the chat room, listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. Would you do me a favor, brother, for old time's sake? Give them what they want. Let them have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we have seen the Carolina Panthers play another football game for the first time in what seems like an eternity. And you come here to talk about the recap, to talk about what's going to happen this week against the Houston Texans. And you haven't hit that like button yet? You've come to enjoy the content of C3 Panthers Podcast, and you haven't said, I enjoy this enough to hit a button on my screen? Well, I have one thing to say to all you absolute freaks. Subscriber shame.
97 likes or 97 people watching, 40 likes. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. We are going to have an incredible season filled with Panthers content for y'all. We appreciate you spending your Tuesday night with us. Almost 100 people strong. You know it's football season, Tony Dunn.
Ain't nothing but to do it, but let's roll.
Yeah, I like the
What's
cut
next?
Yeah, brother. So yeah, we talked a little bit about Jaycee Horn. I do hope that we utilize him in a better way this season. But we need to talk about another potential diamond in the rough that our boy
Thornton
Dan
in your
Morgan
side.
has found. All it took was one preseason game for a Panthers rookie to play his way onto the roster, and he passed the test with flying colors. The Panthers need more in the cornerback room. Dan Morgan will be keeping a close eye on the waiver wire or potential trade acquisitions depending on who becomes available. Jaycee Horn, Mike Jackson Sr., Shaw Smith-Wader locked in, but it's starting to look like Cory Thornton will be too. Cory Thornton continues to make serious waves in the Carolina Panthers roster. Thornton has been a quick riser throughout summer. The undrafted free agent has been a priority target for the Panthers since the 2025 NFL draft concluded. Based on his efforts so far over the last week, it's not hard to see why. The former Louisville standout has shown during practices Thornton was a standout in Carolina's joint session with the Browns and carried this form into a more typical NFL game day setting at Bank of America Stadium. Tony, how awesome would it be for the Panthers, who never normally have really, really good undrafted free agents, to have two in a row in 2 consecutive years in Jalen Coker and Cory Thornton? Tell me what you think about him while I pull up some highlights.
I think the greatest part of this story is if he is the Thornton and the side that you want him to be. That we've talked about it feels like ad nauseum for weeks about issues with depth at corner. You got Jaycee Horn, you got Mike Jackson, you're counting on Charles Smith-Wade. You have questions a little bit at safety, but now you got Latham Ransom supplants, like really making his mark. Panthers have some real issues at linebacker. What I think the greatest part of this story is that if Thornton can be a player that makes the roster, can make plays, can be a depth player, that it allows this, like in that quote that was just up, will Dan Morgan go into free agency? What it will allow is Dan Morgan to go into free agency for a different position on the defense, particularly middle linebacker.
Dude, homeboy forgot he was playing football and thought he was in WrestleMania, brother. Look what he was able to do. Put him up and
I like how he shoots the
his
gap
ass.
right there.
Dude,
Like he shoots it. Like, look, this is what XL was trying to do. That first play when XL was trying to go for the legs. Played with speed. He's long.
Yes,
Look at them
dude.
legs. He's like a giraffe.
That's what
out
I'm
there.
saying. One of the reasons why he fell was because he ran a 4.6 at the combine. But remember, so did Josh Norman. So did Richard Sherman for the Seattle Seahawks. Sometimes the 40 time can really lie to you and that they play faster with pads on.
And they're running backwards half the time.
Right.
How about that? Let's do a fucking 10-yard back pedal.
But look,
did they do that for corners at the?
Yeah, they do all those drills. But look how he's able.
No,
to
I
get
know
his
they
pads.
do the drills, but do they time the back pedal?
Well, I don't know if they timed them, but
They
they do
should.
all of the different drills. But man, you
Got
see
some
how
long legs.
he's long, he's aggressive, he gets his arms into the chest of the wide receiver. But if you notice, he is looking for the football. He turns around and
Panthers
he
guy
grabs
wants
the
you to
ball
keep playing it.
well. Oh yeah, I even have some more too.
I like the decisiveness. He saw the play in that one. I don't even think it's the slam. I mean, the slam makes it visual, but like how quick he read it. He kind of he could be like a Chuba Hubbard. Like he's a little baby giraffe right now that could become grow up into something great.
CK, what do you think about him, man?
I mean, it's he passed the eye test to me on the field.
It's Kristen. Sorry.
Yeah. I was getting
They changed names on me.
I know
it's
YouTube fucked up everything with these names.
It's weird. But no, I think the dude is a diamond in the rough. I think he's still going to have to. I think when you see him on the field with ones, I don't know that you're going to see him perform as well right out of the gate. But I think it's one of these things that he's going to offer a pretty reasonable amount of depth at that position, because we came into this season thinking that was probably one of our weakest positions beyond Mike Jackson and Jaycee Horn, and here we are. Charles Smith-Wade having himself a camp that many people are talking about as might be
great.
Incredibly impactful to this team. You have the backup here, with him. What's his name again? I forget
Corey
his name.
Thornton.
Thornton. That's right. Thorn in his side. With him, body slamming people. I mean, you ask people. I think you ask XL, who he has been surprised by. He brought up Thornton as well. So I mean, he's earning respect from his teammates. He's clearly got the opportunity. He's coming in as an undrafted free agent, and he got the start because Jaycee Horn wasn't in there.
CK,
so
I think
clearly think highly of him.
Oh, that was
CK,
almost
I
an
think it's
interception. That last
it's
one.
less about me being excited about him. I'm not unexcited. I'm hopeful, right?
Sure.
I want him to play. I hope it. But isn't it not? If you can get a player that you think you have a little bit at, then you can divert a little bit now of your last minute additions at a different position group, particularly the linebacker group, the inside linebacker. So it makes it feel less imperative that the corners have to be dealt with right now.
Yeah. I mean, you have some flexibility at the position. And if there is an opportunity, I think it allows you to add to other places instead of the the secondary right out of the gate. So, like I said, I'm happy to see this dude on the field playing for the Panthers. I think he has earned himself a spot on the 53-man roster, which is not always something you can say about these undrafted free agents. But I'm telling you, the fact that Dan Morgan 2 years in a row has come out and found a guy like Thornton, like Coker, and how many other teams have undrafted free agents every single year that are coming to the 53?
I feel like we used to always have this. Also, Kev, White Chocolate Espresso, where's my invite? I ain't got it in the mail yet.
But dude, look, I'm even surprised watching this back now that it wasn't a penalty. I mean, dude, he hit him with the Stone Cold Stunner, brother.
Oh my gosh! Do not get overexcited
Damn.
about that. It's just visual.
Don't tell me what to do, damn it! I love the energy. I love the passion. I love the long arms, dude. He reminds me, and with that aggression, he reminds me a little bit of a Josh Norman. Similar build, similar arm length, and it's just aggressive. He's a baller, dude. I'm hoping that this is the second year in a row Dan Morgan has really found a diamond in the rough as an undrafted free agent. He diagnoses where the ball is going, and he shoots quickly. Love this dude. I'm hoping that he's able to compete with Mike Jack a little bit.
Y'all keep going. Need 30 seconds here.
Yeah, man. CK, do you think that there's a chance that he could actually, we're going to talk about this depth chart. Do you think that he can actually break in and actually win a starting job?
Dude, I don't know if he's going to win a starting job over top of Mike Jack and Jaycee Horn and Charles Smith-Wade, but I think he's solid in that number 2 position. I don't think he's moving off of that unless he has some major issues with his rest of his camp. But I think the dude has already, just in that first preseason game, I think him starting. Again, just to go back to this, I think that tells us their opinion about who he is, even though that unofficial depth chart might not necessarily have him at the highest position. If you wanted to bring that up, we could talk about it now. But, I know that on this depth chart, there's not a lot of major shakeups from the last depth chart. It is interesting to look down there at that defense and look at the cornerback position. Identical. And still see Thornton down there on the. They've got him at number 4. They
have him behind Shamar Bartholomew,
which is
started out impressive, but then I feel like in that game he really kind of struggled, and I think he struggled more than Cory Thornton has. Yeah, well, I mean, even having a Caleb Evans above him seems odd to me. So I mean, it's. In my mind, I think he's going to be a solid position he's going to be better than the majority of the guys in front of him outside. I think Charles Smith, Wade, and Mike Jackson and Jaycee Horn. So which is seeing this depth chart, I take no, I don't think we learned anything different. I don't think they changed anything from the other one that they sent out. I think everything is exactly the same. This is pretty much identical to the last depth chart that we put out. There's not a ton of surprises. Again, as you mentioned earlier, Jalen Coker is behind Xavier Legette.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, not of course, but yes, it is. It's a reality. It's just
reality
a first
round
of the league.
pick. Yeah. Let me see what else here, man.
Oh,
is there anything that
we're gonna have to talk about your boy, Brady Christensen, when we get the risers.
Yeah, he had a bad.
Maybe Matt Rule was right. The little arms.
Oh, damn it! No, I don't think so, man. I think he just had a bad night. But we'll see.
He did.
Man.
He had a pretty crappy night, if I'm being honest with you.
I think that he's still valuable enough to the team that they want him around because of his versatility and ability to play a lot of different positions.
Or also to the argument is he's never been allowed to play a position only.
Tony, is there anything on this depth chart
that sticks out to me? All right, more Rich, real quick. Dalton. You know what is? I didn't even know who our third quarterback was.
We didn't talk about how terrible Andy Dalton looked.
Did not look. You thought he looked that bad? Dude, I thought he threw a couple of bucket. Okay.
Chat, vindicate me. Did Andy Dalton not look like a fish out of water?
Like he was on the run. He fucking threw the fucking dump, like the big pop. He threw a couple pop passes.
Throw the ball. didn't throw it and fell over.
Okay.
Dude, he looked pathetic, man.
All right. Actually, this is where Woods. Let me see. Hold on. Where is the running back? I mean, obviously the running back is gonna be simple. And maybe I'll save it for the risers and fallers, but I was not. Do you remember? Maybe it was just last week, 2 weeks. No, because I missed last week. CK, we were talking about like the potential. Excuse me. Of the team not moving. Excuse me, not moving forward like Blackshear.
Right.
Blackshear had a terrible, like he had a bad moment in that, like so it doesn't.
Yeah, he dropped.
But
What
like,
did he?
I didn't feel good about. I didn't think Etienne. I think Etienne looked basic as a running back in that game.
Yeah, he didn't have a great performance like a lot of fans were expecting him to.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I don't put a lot of onus on his drop or his muffed punt that he put on the ground.
but even as a running back, just looked all right.
I agree. Blackshear, if we're talking about his punt at the very beginning or his kick, I think it was a punt. I think that punt return was actually the most impressive thing I've seen because they were not expecting the ball to go nearly as far as it was. He had to backpedal to catch the ball, and most people would not have been able to catch the ball as well as he did. He had to basically do it in a falling backwards and catch the ball. Now, should he have let it go instead of trying to do that? Maybe, but he gave himself an opportunity to try to get something back and didn't work out. But I think that was impressive to me.
And in fairness to Etienne on his whatever muff punt, his own player ran into him.
There's still some responsibility he has in that, and that is that he has to tell people to move.
Yeah. You don't take it when all that traffic. But that's the thing. That's where we always, at least it's so easy for us to go, oh, we're going to plug these rookies in. They're just going to do this. And the big lights come on. Even Steve Smith said this in the in the broadcast is these guys are doing it on the practice field, but then they get out under the lights and this.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually forgiving about that. But what he was not forgiving about, was it a joke or not? We'll have to ask the chat because I saw a little chatter about this. I didn't catch it because I was watching on my phone. I was like not at a place where I could just zone in. But he said JJ Jansen wasn't a football player. Did you guys hear this?
Wait, what? Who said this?
Steve Smith.
No, dude, we were doing the free for all. There was people.
He said that. He said that this. All right. Well, I won't trust the internet, but it was like, damn. Like what I saw is that Steve Smith said JJ Jansen wasn't a football player. Basically, I don't know if he was saying a long snapper or if he's just a cool guy. And then it was like, was it a joke or not? So
I think it's got to. I mean, I would like to assume it's a joke because he knows that Jansen is going to be a legend here within the Panthers.
He is the longest tenured player.
Yeah, he's going to be a legend here for probably the entire history of the NFL, of the Panthers' existence. Because it's going to be a hard. That's going to be a hard thing to be able to beat that record, to be honest. And also, by the way, like some of the best coverages that we've seen are still coming from that dude playing well into his 30s. Right, like the dude is still out there making.
Yeah, he made a difference on a big play. I think it was the one that was down where we got him
on the one. Like he had to dive into the end zone or something like that too. And like
how did Steve Smith, all the shit that's gone on with him, and he just is still on the NFL Network?
Dude, it's wild.
It's awesome. Well, I mean, listen, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him. Like, look, jaded lovers, man. I don't fuck with them. Steve Smith, I'm with you.
Think about how long it took for them to get Shannon Sharp off of ESPN. I think Smith is good for a bit.
He's still there.
You know what time it is?
Let's do it. It's
time to listen to these beautiful Panther fans that we have. If you would like to call into the show, the number is 252-228-5098. Leave a message on the Cat Calls line and have your voice heard on the longest running Panthers podcast on the internet. Tony Dunn, let's roll.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
It's motherfucking show time. Lou from Fort Myers, and I know I haven't called in a while. I was just at FanFest. Loved every single one of y'all in North
What up,
Carolina.
Lou?
Man. It's always worth the 12-hour drive going there, man. Always worth it. I love every single one of y'all, man. I wish I lived there, dude. I wish I could just be in the Panther Stadium, but that's not what we came to talk about. Bryce Young versus Shadur. If you remember my dog C-Dog TV, he wanted Shadur, pick him up. We could have picked him up this draft, but we ain't worried about that. Man, it's so good to see Panthers football. I just want to say right off my chest, bro, win or loss, bro, I'm just glad to see us playing again, bro. Win or lose, bro, I'm just glad to see us playing, man. Damn, it feels good, bro. Nothing feels better than this, man. Like, I want to just say, I think this season we do good, so let's keep motherfucking pounding, bro.
Yeah.
Great shit. Great shit.
Motherfucking pounding.
Let's go to Nick.
What's up, guys? I know it's been a minute, but season's right around the corner, so
My
I figured
boy right
just
here.
check in, feel the temperature in the water. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm excited, guys. I know that the last ship, God knows how long, it's been rough, but there's definitely a light, okay? And the way that I'm looking at it is the offense is probably as well put together as it could be for, a quarterback on his rookie deal, okay? Yeah, we could obviously have, better talent, somewhere on the offense, but in my head, if it doesn't happen this year on the offense, that tells us all that we need to know. I mean, in my opinion, and Tony, I know you know this because I know you heard it from me, but in my head, we're going to have all the answers that we need this year. We're going to have answers as far as our tackles, whether or not we're going to re-sign Moten or we need to find a replacement. And same thing with Icky. We're going to know where we're at with Bryce. We're going to know where we're at with the whole offense in general, And then our receiving core is better than it's been in God knows how long. So, in my head, we're going to have all the answers that we need for the offense going forward, especially given how young our receiving room is. And then when you look on the defensive side of the ball, you know where we're going to be at with Evero by the end of the year. And I'm still not sold on the guy, but, he wasn't necessarily put in a situation to succeed last year. And I'm not 100% sold that he's in a better situation this year, but seems like the pieces are at least better. And there were some highlights in that preseason game, that just kind of really shone a light on it. Mainly in the first, quarter and that sort of deal. And once we started running our 2s and 3s, it just kind of fell off. But, in my head, let's run what we got. Do what we got. Let's go from there. And we'll have answers at the end of the year. And, sometimes it may be good, it may be bad, but you know what? It's still my team. Like it's always going to be my team as long as we still keep pounding. If Tepper gets rid of that, then that just throws off the whole dynamic of the team, and then we're really fucked. But I don't think that one's going to happen anytime soon. Anyways, guys.
He got 48 seconds left.
Getting back into things this year.
On another call.
Going to be watching every game this year because the last couple of years I couldn't watch all the games.
Yeah, he lives in Massachusetts.
Watch, especially Bryce's rookie year. So
I'll get you that
I'm
app, bro.
optimistic on this year and see what happens.
All right, you got 48 more seconds. All right, you got one more call coming in.
You can tell it's been a minute since I called in because I let that time run out. But yeah, now Josh and I are going to the Pats game up here. I think it's the 20th, and then I don't know. I'd like to get down and see a game in Charlotte. I don't know if it's going to happen this year or not, but regardless, I'm still going down to North Carolina at least once or twice before the end of the season. So, all right, guys, I got to get back to work. But love the show. You guys keep doing what you do. Tony, it was great to finally meet you in person, brother. It was a fantastic time, and looking forward to meeting you again. Cody, we got to grab a beer at some point soon. And CK, same with you, brother. You guys ever need anything, just reach out. Talk to you soon.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
pounding.
Keep pounding, brother.
Keep pounding.
There's more, right?
No, that was the back
Oh,
end.
okay.
That was the 48 seconds after. I'm gonna cry at this point. I'm gonna be emotional. This podcast, I don't know how it started. I mean, I know how it started. It started with my boy Joe and I keeping up. Joe, rest in peace. These people to the left and the right of me mean so much to me. The people in the chat, these are crazy friendships. CK, you saw the moment that I met Greg in person.
Yeah.
You saw it, right? Like you were there. Like when we hugged and we had been friends.
Right.
On the internet, and we're like brothers. This is tough. It's a tough thing to talk about right here. Nick, who chose a team, right? He said, I live in Massachusetts. I fucking he wasn't a football fan. Tired of all the Brady. You know what I mean? He made kind of that rebellion pick. He needs to be he's becoming a fan of football and makes a rebellion pick. And he's like, I'm not going to be a Patriot. Steeped in Patriots shit, right? Becomes a friend of the podcast, a friend, a friend of ours. This guy, which first, I mean, if you've talked to him, he checks up on me, not checks up on me as a therapist, but every now and he would drop me a message or something. It's this person is good.
Yeah.
You just know. So Nick and I have been friends for 6 years. We have. This beautiful motherfucker. I mean, look, I was buying this house.
I miss him on the free for all, man. He
Bro,
needs to come back on, dude.
Bro, this guy, you can't get a higher level person than this. I mean, I was buying my house, so I'm going through all this shit. I'm trying to save some money on some different things, and I know Nick's an electrician, and I'm buying this house. I'm like, look, I got some I want. Without calling people out and paying them. You know what I mean? If we have timelines and some different things, I'm FaceTiming him. I'm showing him. I'm undoing outlets. I'm putting shit up here. I'm like, do I need to be worried? This and that. And he's like, he spent time out of his day that he didn't need to do. Right? He's my boy already, and never met this person physically. And I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt the cat calls for this. So I'm buying this house. I'm doing this stuff. And then he gave me some advice. He's like, look, you're cool. You're going to want to do some upgrades later on. Don't worry. It's not you don't need to be sketched out, but you do need to know that you want to do this in the future. My man calls me. I'm like, all right, I'm putting an offer in this house. It's accepted. He sends me a message. He says, look, I need a vacation. I'd love to come to North Carolina and hang out. I'll help you with your electrical work. I said, that's the nicest thing. But nah, you're like, hey, that's cool. Thank you, man. I'm that's nice. That's it. But I appreciate it. My man hit me up the next day. It's nah, I really mean it. And I'm trying to you don't want to well, fucking do all this, help me out. He's like, no, it's and then they were like, all right, plan a date. And I'm really bad planner. So he's like, wait, we're going to do it. So I said, all right, he came down here. I said, you cannot vacation where I live at. I mean, it's a great place to party at if you want to chase 20-year-olds, but it's not a vacation spot. So my man drove, seriously, think about this. A person that I met through us came from Massachusetts to my house, stayed with me for 3 days. Like we hung out for 3. I mean, we hung out. He like did all of this work on my home, right? And then we went. I took him to Myrtle Beach. I know. I'm sorry, Nick. I was like, I thought we were gonna go to Charlotte first. It didn't work out. We would have gone to Nag's Head if it wasn't. Anyway, but we went to the beach for 5 days. This dude is the fucking dude of dudes.
Shout out, Nick. I miss
like
man.
a real like that Greg moment, CK.
Yeah.
You know, where you meet him and you're like, no, like I already know you. I know you already. And we had a lot of conversations about the Panthers. Actually, you know what, Cody? This is gonna make you mad. Is every time he asked me about the Panthers, I was like, oh God, I don't want to talk about them. Like that's how it was. I was like, oh shit, do you really want to know? But I kept telling him this is that I'm really worried about the state of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Like I am, is because he is a fan, like and we all became a fan at some point. So I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, I've been a fan since 95. No, I don't care about shit. You became a fan at some point, and this is your ride. And the man drives. They're going to a game in New England. Like he's not driving, but like they're going into Foxborough? Like that's how much they are. They're going to go see the Panthers in Foxborough. But I'm really worried. I was like, dude, the state of this. Like how much? Like when will it be so bad that I don't meet you again?
Well, I think that we're on the upward trajectory, but if you're going to take a moment, I also want to take a moment because during FanFest, not only did I get to see my brother Curtis Allen again and his wonderful family, but dude, so many people came from out of state, man. Shout out to Panther Pickle coming all the way from Tennessee. Diesel Skills and Kobe Griffin coming from like 3 or 4 hours away.
Kobe coming from my place, bro.
Yeah,
coming from Greenville. It's a 4.5 hour drive.
He met up with D's, and the D's and Kobe came down together. Jake the Snake came over, man. Anthony Piccarello, seeing all these dudes and being a part of FanFest with all of them. And then, as always, we had so many awesome fans recognize us in the stadium. And dude, I will never get over that. The people that want to take pictures with us, want to say hello, they're telling Pickle to shut the hell up because they are some real fans. They're real fans, Tony.
We're just friends. We're you know, it's not even fans.
No, we're not even friends.
We are family. We are
C3 family. C3 Legion is stronger than it's ever been before. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And by the way, shout out to everyone in the chat who I have not met yet, but I know we're going to. I see you, Kristen. See, dog, I see you, brother. Bro, we have to continue to grow this and grow the C3 family. Let's go.
Next call.
What's good, C3 Legion? It's the Hope Devil checking in real quick. Hope everybody's doing all right on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. So, a little bit to unpack post the first preseason game. Just 2 words, man. Corey Thornton, man. Corey Thornton. That boy looks good out there. But you know, I've seen a lot of overreaction. It's understandable, but we got to remember this is preseason game 1. I'm not worried. You know, if we're gonna make mistakes, this is the time to make them. We need to see, as far as our depth, you know, who we need to bring in and who we need to develop more. Our starters, it's looking like our starters to me are going to be competitive, but we got to remember, y'all, we're still very young at depth. So injuries, they're going to eventually play a factor. Honestly, I was overall pleased with the preseason performance. I ain't really worried about the score because that's just how it goes. You got to see what works and what doesn't. But I do have one concern, y'all, and that's Evero's defensive scheme, because we know in the past he struggles to develop backups for his scheme.
He does.
In my view, Evero ain't got no excuses. Still no excuses this year. But man, let's talk about Jalen Coker. Man, that kid is special. I think Dan Morgan will find him Jim, but I've been saying this, y'all. I see 7-10. I see a 7-10 season loading, man. I see. We'll be in playoff contention, but I don't see us crossing over. It's the depth, man. But anyway, man, it's the Hope Dilla. That was my 2 cents. Everybody, keep pounding.
Did you guys
pounding, brother.
Did you guys ask Jalen Coker's dad about what he thought about cokeheads?
No,
cokeheads. Are we gonna say we're blowing lines or something like?
You have to ask that question the next time we interview.
I'll be like, you know what, sir, yes, sir.
We're trying to keep it PG. He was cool enough to message us. Or he messaged
Thanks,
me.
G baby.
He messaged me. Yeah, shout out to G baby. He messaged me
my boy
the day of the show, and I was like, "Hey man, would you be willing to come on tonight?" And he said, "Absolutely." It was incredible, man. I mean,
what was your standout moment from it? What'd you take away?
Oh man, so one of my standout moments. Okay, the one that was the most shocking, and I already sort of alluded to it, is that Jaylen Coker grew up pulling for the Saints.
Oh.
It's not, we don't love it, but you know what? That man is a Panthers fan.
What would he have got mad if I hit him up with?
Fuck you, Saints.
No, he's a Panthers fan.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was a lifelong Panthers fan, so he probably would echo that sentiment.
Okay.
But he was really, really cool.
What an asshole kid, by the way. That's what I would have asked him. It's like, what'd you think about your asshole kid who pulled for the Saints? It'd be like one of my kids. And my son does not like NFL football, but he got into college football. Now he's now his college players, because he loves Georgia, because his grandparents went to Georgia, and then this and that. And I said, he was flirting. He's starting to flirt with the NFL. I said, motherfucker, if you become a Falcons fan, we straight gonna fight. Straight up. I'm sorry. You can't do me like that.
Yeah.
I would have asked him that. I would have been like, how'd that feel? Rebellion. That's what it is. Rebellion.
Tim, we will be seeing you in the future, brother. I promise. By the way, I just found out recently, this will be my 3rd year in a row that I am attending the home opener.
You're going to this one?
I am. Me and my buddy from Georgia, who's a Falcons fan. So this will be the first time I'm going with a fan of another team. Well, beside my brother, who's a Saints fan. But
my boys want to go to the Jacksonville game. First, Darrell Rogers wants to go. He's driving down there. I got to play. I'm supposed to have my kids that weekend. I have some issues. And I was like, God, should I just do it?
You should probably just do it, man. I
know.
Have
to cover me on the post game.
That's fine.
The first post game, miss the first post game. I'd be mad.
You're going to be able to call in and give your thoughts and everything.
Yeah, you'll be in the stadium. I do know that this will be my 3rd home opener, so it's something of a tradition that I'm hoping to.
You'll be roasted. Going. We get little lobster, Cody.
But dude, I even need to talk to you about something. I might be able to do something cool, but we'll talk about it.
Put sunscreen on.
That's not cool. That's for losers. Red's an awesome color on the skin.
Not in this podcast. It's not.
Right, let's go. Vitamin D, bro. That's all it is.
Let's hit the next call.
Yo, what's going on?
Oh, why, Anthony? Why are you so quiet?
Well, turn it up.
He quiet. I got everything up, bro. All right, Anthony. Sorry.
I got cut off at the end. Real quick. Very frustrating, as I was saying, with that aspect. I don't like, I just, personally, my last point is, I don't think, as much as we say that, and this is where I kind of take notice of, because a lot of the players Dan Morgan signed, I really feel like building for the future, building for 8-20.
All right, Anthony, bro, we love you, but your shit a little janky this week. I don't want to blow out their ears with the next one. Here it goes.
It's only the best Panther podcast.
Is that too loud? Tell me, chat. Too
It's
loud?
Showtime, Lou from Fort Myers, man.
What up,
How
Lou?
are y'all doing, dog? Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I like what we saw out of some of our undrafted rookies. Thornton's looking nice. Thornton is looking, he's looking like he could be a starter, no kizzy. I ain't gonna lie. But only takeaway I would want from the game is really Dave Canales and Ejiro Evero. Why are we laying up 30 points? Everybody looked at it as Shadur had a good game. Why did he have a good game? Shadur is not a horrible quarterback or none of that, but my point is, why are we still getting scored on a lot? I don't think a lot of people peeped that, you know? They just took it as, oh, this is second string. Fuck no, dude. The Patriots blew out the fucking Commanders, and, like, you know what I mean?
Badly.
Everybody else kept it a close game. I want to make sure, like, yo, Dave, like, are we going to have blowout losses again? You know what I mean? I want to establish, like, a winning culture in Carolina. They said the model was attack, be aggressive, this and that. It looked like we were being attacked. We were being assaulted. I'm not going to hold you. First team get a 3 and out? I don't even think there was, excuse me if I'm correct or wrong, Myles Garrett wasn't even on the field. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just want to see some winning culture in Carolina, dog. That's
I
all.
hear you, brother.
I love what the rookies and how all the players are really playing. Shadur looked phenomenal. Probably we should have drafted him. But thing is, I just want to see some winning identity. Tell me what y'all thoughts about it. I love every single one of y'all, man. Keep motherfuckers.
Lou, appreciate you, brother. 6K, go on this, man.
Man, I think that, again, to his point, I think our undrafted free agent situation is interesting to see this happen constantly now. I mean, I think it's becoming a pattern with Dan Morgan that he's finding these diamonds in a rough. And I think that that's a stark difference from anything that we've seen from the previous regimes over the past 10 years, because everything has been a struggle to find even players after the first round that have been contributing. Here we are, we're finding people in the second, third, fourth, fifth round and undrafted free agents, dude. I can't help but be excited about the what Dan Morgan is bringing to the table with the way he's building this squad.
It might be a little too soon. I don't give a damn. Y'all know I call my shots. I pick a hill to die on it, and I fight on that bitch. Dan Morgan will be known as a better GM than he was a football player. And that man was a damn good football player, wasn't he? Hell yeah, he was. But the GM part of his life, oh, that's going to be even better. You already see it.
All I will say is this. You got to win more than one round in the draft to make a difference, right? And so I don't care how you win it. First round, trade ups, back, undrafted. We had, look, I actually am a Marty Herney fan because it was like, look, we hit round one, and that we hit that. But you have to hit 3. Like 2 is every draft, you got to hit 2. 2 is that's what it is. Like, we get 7 picks or 6 picks. You got 2 got to be players on the team, not just in the immediacy, but for a term. But when you get to that 3 and the 4, that's when differences are made. So that's what's exciting to me about it. Let's go 2 more calls, and we can finish the show up.
Okay, it's brothers. How y'all doing? It's G. Cavalier.
G.
know it's been a minute.
What up,
It's been a
G?
minute. I've been
My
listening
man.
and been enjoying the shows. Hey, that first preseason game is over, and Bryce looked good, and our first string defense looked good. Our backups look horrible, and everybody's jumping on Sanders' dick, talking about he looked good. That was against the backups, because y'all know with the first string defense, he ain't fucking score. But you know, hey, it is what it is. You know, I'm just ready for the season to start. I don't know about y'all, but hey, I am ready because our first string defense looked good. And on top of that, Brown wasn't playing, and Horn wasn't playing either. And we still got pressure. So, when the boys get back, it's going to be something. I'm telling you. Give me your thoughts on that, y'all. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, brother.
Good to hear from you, G. Cavassier. The
Love
longest.
G.
One of OG. Man, that is, OG.
He's
Like,
one
he
of
been
the
around
first names that had a name in
on the
chat.
calls.
Yeah.
He's been around from the beginning.
Shout out to G, man.
The idea of this is somebody just put in the chat is Dan Morgan, best GM. GB.
That's Luke. Shout out Luke.
What did YouTube do? I don't know when did this happen last week or this week?
I figured out what's happening. On YouTube, you have your name, and it used to put your name, but now it's putting people's @ instead of their
So
name.
can you
So you have
change
your name and you have your @ Yeah, you can go on your settings and change it, but it just changed it for everyone.
Really? Lou said Dan Morgan best GM. The
So
idea
Cito,
that is
Cito.
he might not be wrong. Think about that. Is who are the best GMs? Gettleman actually was the best GM for 2 years. 2 years. That was it. I don't know if he lucked into it, if he then got his ego too big. The idea that we were talking about this is, I wonder if any people remember our last GM's name before Dan Morgan.
See if somebody remembers it.
Yeah. I
mean,
hope it's all.
Are you
It's
talking about in the chat,
forgettable.
or are you talking about us as
Period. Everybody is like,
yeah, I know.
What I'm saying is it's forgettable. I thought of his stupid face. I thought of him going to the Commanders and being and it is not Marty Herney.
That dude right there.
Yes, exactly. That is it. Think of that. It's like I almost forgot. I tried to repress his name, and where people are like, "Oh, we were talking
Dude, that whole regime, man, from Matt Rule to Fitterer,
God.
it's just like all the narrow.
Scott Shitterer, the fucking best comment of the night is if that's Strats. Please tell me it's Strats. And I wrote
somebody
Strats
asked earlier. I don't think we
last
know.
year. Strats took me to go get cigarettes. I haven't smoked cigarettes since then. By the way, I hope it is. Shat. We should call him Shat Shitterer. God, it's terrible.
I'm happy his dumbass is no longer in this.
I repressed his name though. I thought about it. I was thinking about this 2 days ago, and I was like, "Who was his name?" I couldn't remember it. It was a repressed memory. God, how about that? Is Dan Morgan in a year and a half maybe the best GM in Panthers history? Crazy. All right, last call. C-Dog.
What's going on with everybody? It's me, C-Dog, 1983 TV. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Hope everybody have a great week. But I'm just so excited for the season to start. I'm gonna make this short and quick. But for all the Bryce haters, everybody saying, is Bryce ready? Bryce that? He's here. Bryce has finally arrived. And this, in his third season, he will show everybody. He will show all the haters, everybody on ESPN, whoever. You know what I'm saying? We are finally here. Real quick, Excel. You've been doing all that bullshit in the offseason at the Kentucky Derby. You ain't got them gorilla, got them video. Then you go out here and fucking fighting and all this dumbass shit. XL is on a short fucking leash with C-Dog 1983 TV.
I know that's
Coker
you,
can
huh?
stick around and take his
I
goddamn
know
spot.
that.
That's my personal opinion. I don't give a
He's
fuck
been
how
saying
nobody
that for
feel
a
about it.
while.
You know, until you come out here and fucking perform and catch the fucking ball, he's a bust otherwise. He's a fucking ball dropper. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, man, I'm really excited about this defense. Bobby Brown, Derek Brown, Alshon Robinson. Like, oh my God. What the quarterback gonna do? What is the quarterback gonna do with all them fucking behemoths coming all at one time? It's just fucking amazing. It's amazing, man. But man, the C3 podcast is the longest running Panthers podcast on YouTube.
C3?
They don't get the respect that they should get.
Appreciate you, brother.
What it is. Hopefully the respect comes down the line.
Yes,
but
sir.
please like and subscribe. They go live every Tuesday. They got the free for all every Friday. They got the Madden simulation on Saturday during the season. They got the game recap on Sunday during the season. You know. But shout out to the whole C3 podcast. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Man, go Panthers. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, brother. Shout out C-Dog, bro. We love C-Dog around these parts.
Brand ambassador.
Yeah, but you know, when we're talking about you know, guys that have been here forever, man. G Cavassier, G Baby. That's another one, bro. C-Dog's been here forever.
Yep.
Shout out to C. We love that dude. Now we've already said it, man. It's a big year for Xavier Legette, or as G Baby's calling him, extra lotion, which is just fucking
so funny.
It's
Come
so
on, if you look, G
dude.
Baby,
It's
come
so
on, you gotta give him
fucking-
credit sometimes.
I don't want
I know
to,
y'all
bro.
get mad at it, like, but look, that's my brother.
I have to. He
That's
made that
my-
interview possible last Tuesday. I have
That's
to
my
give him
brother, dude. He calls him extra lotion. That's the best, bro. Come on, sometimes it's
so
just funny,
stupid,
bro.
dude.
All right,
Is
those
that
are
the
the
last call?
calls. Those
All right.
no, those are the calls. Let's rock out. The last are
Risers and fallers.
Shout out to Joe Person, the Athletic. Go subscribe to that.
Absolutely.
Panthers. This is the story put out. Panthers climbers and fallers after first preseason game. Obviously, he pays homage to Jaylen Coker. He says Jaylen Coker's work. Something you switch to it. All right, climbers. We talked about Jaylen Coker. We almost don't need to spend too much time on it. He did say this is that ultimately that Coker worked hard in the offseason, right? Like he is this hasn't just been him going out there and just trying to play, but he's dedicated himself. Bryce Young talked about Coker for a stricter diet in the offseason. He's been on a mission, showed up. Coker, he spent look, I don't even feel like we should talk too much about this part, as we already know this was a riser. We all saw it, right? So number one, Jaylen Coker. Who's next in the list of climbers?
Next up in the list of climbers is Nick Scorton. This dude was flying around. He earned a great grade from PFF. Listen, he has a never-ending motor. This dude will never give up on a football play, Tony. That's what I love about him. That sack that he had against Shadur Sanders was well earned. Shadur was
You mean when he
scrambling all
pushed
around
him
the
out?
field. Yeah,
Didn't
but
he push him out,
he had
or
to
at
work
least
for
try to
that.
force him out? Like,
Yeah.
it was all like a
He had
half
to
yard
chase
before
around.
the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
That's exactly what happened.
Right. But what I loved about this, and you know what, we saw it on his tape in college, guys. The never-ending motor, like the fire, the fury. Like when he rushed right, Shadur goes, well, I guess it would have been to Shador's left, but for the video, it would have been to the right? So Shadur runs left and then scrambles. What I loved about this is Scorton is like, I'm taking this angle.
Yeah.
And the angle was like 40 yards away. Dude, he's a monster. We all knew it. Well, I don't know if we all knew it, but when he got drafted and he swiped all those fucking hats off the table, I was like, this is my dude right here.
Yeah,
and
me too.
I got to tell you one thing, straight up. I've not bought it's 11/11. Shout out to my love. 11/11 right now. I was born, and I know you guys are going to
Is
have
that
a hard
me?
time.
Am I your love?
Yeah,
Thank you, bro.
you are. Yeah.
Yeah. Love you too, bro.
I was born on November 11th, 1981. So November 11/11, right? So I got these 11s right here. So I'd be popping 11/11. I was born at 11:11 p.m. I was born at 11:11 p.m. on 11/11.
Interesting. Okay.
So 11's been my number my whole life. Like that's like that's my number. I play it. You play it. I have not bought, and this might be embarrassing for this podcast. I haven't bought a jersey, I don't think, since Shaq Thompson.
No, that's not embarrassing. We haven't really had a ton of players that have excited to that point. Yeah, it's kind of like a sign of the times more than anything.
Scorton's my jersey, bro.
Yeah.
I'm buying. He's buying 11. He's driving the 11s, homie.
Yeah.
All day, every day. This guy swiping hats off the shit.
And
This
your
my
first
guy.
love was Julius Peppers, who was also a pass rusher. This dude's a pass rusher.
I know.
Come on, man. It fucking
11
it writes
meant
itself,
to be.
man.
I'm telling you, kisses. You know what? When I said my love, I meant Scorton.
We all figured.
I don't know how y'all didn't get it, but I'm buying the jersey. And first, it's kind of against my DNA to buy a jersey for somebody who ain't done shit yet, but it's done.
That's what I did. I bought a Bryce Young jersey.
Oh yeah, but that's fine. But I love and lost his scoring. Wait until you get scoring. You know what? You already got mad. You got scorned a little bit by that, right?
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot. I'm buying this motherfucker's jersey. I'm rocking with him. I don't know how I feel about him like raising kittens in Charlotte. I don't know about that part yet. But we are Panthers. I love cats. I love tigers. I love Nick Scorton. 11s.
He's
11.
a beast.
All right. Why is he rising or climbing?
Yeah, let me bring it up here. So it says it's been a mostly quiet summer for Scorton, who missed a week with a hamstring injury, but the second round pick showed up big against the Browns, particularly in the suit of Sanders on a second quarter play that Canales' favorite of the game on 3rd and 13 from the Cleveland 34. Defensive lineman Jalen Coker flushed Sanders to his left, where he made a spin move to elude Scorton and started running the other way. Scorton stopped, changed directions, and took off after Sanders. Yeah, man, dude. He's awesome.
They said he ran like 97 miles or some shit.
Yeah, dude, he did. That's what I'm saying. When I said that he had to work for that shit, Tony, he had to chase Shadur all around the field to get to that sack, and never one time did he give up on that play.
Yeah, not a single time.
By the way, this is when I get upset at Kev for saying, "Oh, we should have kept Jadeveon Clowney." Jadeveon Clowney doesn't have near the get up and go his old man ass like Nick Scorton does right now. A man on a mission trying to prove himself.
But it didn't have to be an either or, but an either Scorton. Like you could have had both, but look, the guy.
Fuck him. He didn't want to be a leader on this team. He didn't want to be a part of what we were doing.
Stop that.
That's
Fuck rude.
Him.
That's rude.
Fuck him.
I'm
rude. I'm a rude dude.
Princeton
McMillan.
They both have motors. That's what they have. They fight like this. Crazy. Like I'm with it. I'm with Nick. And do we say Scorton? Am I saying it right?
Scorton. Yeah.
Scorton. Okay. Well, you know what? Scorton on her back. Let's go.
Let's go.
Next one.
Next one, Lathan Ransom. When y'all want to read this?
Oh, y'all, I'll read this.
Yeah, read it.
By
'cause
the
I'm
way,
preparing my eyesight.
Lathan Ransom already supplanting himself into a starting position. Joe Person writes, like Thornton, Ransom isn't afraid to hit, which we knew. By the way, he didn't write this part, which we knew. That's why they drafted his ass. Fucking big, balling, badass, hitting, hard hitting mug that we needed. All right, so this is what Joe Person wrote, so I don't ruin it. Like Thornton, Ransom isn't afraid to hit. In fact, he likes it. Sorry. Which is
stupid.
I can't. I'm sorry. Now I got laugh. Which he's shown all camp and again Friday. His 4 tackles were second to cornerback Mike Reed for the team high. Ransom also received high marks from PFF, which gave the 4th round pick from Ohio State a grade of 73.3. It seems, look at this. This is a tough line right here. Or not a tough line, but a decisive directive. It seems inevitable that Ransom will overtake veteran Nick Scott for a starting spot, but Canales isn't there yet. In the meantime, Ransom keeps impressing his teammates. He's holding Nick Scott at Ransom. Okay. That's
all
it.
Right.
Look, it's like we've heard his name a lot during camp. Who have we heard? Like, one is Lathan Ransom. We've heard his name a ton in camp about making plays, being impressive. And I think that a lot of people are maybe a little too high on who's the Colorado State guy. Now I'm
Jimmy Horn Jr.
Yeah.
It's coming for you if you do.
No, I'm not talking junk about it. What I'm saying is that no, I'm not talking junk about it. Is like this is a little higher draft pick and a little less sexier position. Like we don't get the videos as much, but the idea that he's making the mark right here, this is what we need. This is the type. I told you guys we needed more than 2 draft picks to hit. This is the type of pick we need to hit. Lathan Ransom, we're paying it right
He
now.
lays the
I'm
boom
ready.
on people, bro. I love what he's been capable of. I love how he's flashing. CK, you want to say anything?
I mean, it's I like that he's in training camp doing, you know, some big things, getting some big hits. I don't really think we saw much from him to make it like, you know, anything that was a standout from Friday. But again, it was his first game, and we really don't know what his, you know, what the game plan was, or whether it was just things weren't coming his way or whatnot. So I can only really base everything off of the you know, PFF grade, but you know, it wasn't anything to, you know, there was nothing that kind of popped off of the screen during that game.
I want to see
It's
more.
been a
from him
big
during
talk
the
during
season.
training camp, though. So look, exciting. Fallers.
Yeah, Nick Scott. It's funny that we go from Ransom to Scott, because if Ransom takes anyone's position, it's going to be this guy, Nick Scott, who, listen, he's a good. We brought him back from last year, but, you know, we're wanting to see the young guy. He said when the Panthers brought back Nick Scott on a 1-year deal, most observers thought it was a move to provide depth in the secondary and to get a special teams coordinator. Tracy Smith, a proven teams guy, but Scott has been a starter throughout camp, in part because Canales likes how Scott is quarterbacking the back end and helping newcomer Trevon Moore with calls. So for now, Ransom and Richardson were waiting the wings. Nick Scott has earned the right to be here. Canales said there's value for those young guys to play with the first group, but a lot of value in seeing Nick Scott do it right and get guys on the same page. Scott wasn't on the field long Friday, but he made a critical special teams error when Scott was blocked into rookie returner Trevor Etienne. The Browns.
He was the one.
Yeah, it was the one. It was blocked into returner Trevor Etienne.
It was.
The Browns recovered the muffed punt at the Carolina 10 and had their first touchdown 2 plays later. Yeah, I mean it was a dumb mistake
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Look, I'm not trying to say the guy should lose his job right away.
He's a special teamer, and we know it.
No, obviously not a special teamer.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what
that's actually what he's
what
not.
I'm saying is that he will not be
Lathan
a
Ransom,
starter on
his
the
stock
defense.
is rising. Scott's stock is falling. Who else is falling, Cody? Oh, wait, whoa. I gotta read this shit. I gotta read this. Is Joe Person from The Athletic. Go subscribe to The Athletic. He just wrote backup offensive tackles. But Cody. And I do have a slight defense for this. Brady Christian, he writes this. Brady Christensen and Yosh Ninjma, who are among the Panthers' top 8 offensive linemen, both were beaten on 3rd and 9 play in the second quarter when it looked like the Browns were throwing a party on top of Andy Dalton. The edge rusher over Christensen.
Great wording there.
Yeah, I mean, they were dancing. They were like, the edge rusher over Christensen, Charlotte native Julian Okamwara, got the sack, but Ingeman,
Josh
Neiman's man was also in position. Neiman, the number 2 right tackle behind Taylor Moton, was also whistled for a face mask penalty that wiped out a 34-yard pickup on Coker's one-handed snag. Which that's what I was watching, and I was watching the condensed game. I was like, why are we back? I want to see this. But I remember seeing this. All I could think about when I read this after I watched the condensed version of the preseason game, and I saw Christensen try to left arm this guy. And he just got blasted by. And I thought, oh, poor Cody. He was going to say he should be a starting left tackle. Fuck this. And Cody, I'm not going to go crazy on you on this. I think this is Christensen maybe a he's like finding it's coming down on him from kind of like a Jeremy Chin. This and that.
Yeah,
he never gave him a thing.
Right.
It's like you're looking at one play at one play position and you haven't trained it. But then the first thing I thought was Matt Rule said he got short arms.
But dude,
that was the first thing. And he put his arm up. He put his arm up and then he ran around. I said, damn, if Matt Rule is right, I fucking
wasn't the arm. It was all the technique. I think that you hit the nail on the head earlier. Is that when you're never allowed to stay at one position, you're kind of,
or just learn something a little.
I really feel like he should have gotten more chances to be a starter earlier.
I don't even need him to be a starter.
Whatever. I'm just
make
saying,
him a guard or a tackle.
The Panthers are better for having Brady Christensen on the team.
Okay.
You might not want him to be full time.
Do you want him to replace? What's his? I don't even know. Like Oki. What's his name?
Oh, Uki. Yeah, I want him to replace Uki.
Do you want him still?
Dude, listen. I think he had a bad night.
Dookie?
I think he had a bad night. I don't think that was indicative of what he is capable of. But listen, he had a bad night, man. There's no other way around it. But I do think that having him on this team, we are better for the fact that he is basically a jack of all trades. And the Panthers probably are going to slot him into center or guard if they need him this season. So they signed him for a reason. They want Christensen on the team, but
I don't think
definitely looked like shit.
I'm taking jabs at him because Cody's my brother, right? But if we're going to give all these other passes to everybody else, right? I mean, think about that. It's like, oh, we're doing this, it's that, this.
I don't think we've
give
given passes.
No, but like we have given a million passes to other players though on this team. We've given passes to the defense. We've given so I don't want to just say, oh, there's one play where all of a sudden Brady Christensen is a bum.
Yeah.
So like I looked at it and I thought this. I was like, oh, like I'm ready to come after Cody. But then I also was like, no, like is this guy has played well at different positions for us. So I think that if you're gonna say this, it's the preseason, it's this, it's that. Look, we can do it on the offense, we can do it on the defense. At least you should be able to do it for him as well.
Sure.
If that's a high volume, I'm actually on your side, Cody. I was like ready to come after you and Nick at you, but I was like, I do believe in him. Like I believe in him as a rotational player.
Well, look, like I said, even if he's not a starter at this point, he's obviously not. The Panthers are better for having him on the team, and they
believed in it.
Right, there's a reason
They signed him. They paid him money.
100%. They wanted him to be on this team in case of injuries because of how he was able to step up in a big way through multiple differences. The dude has been here since 2020, Tony,
and fighting through different regimes. How about that? Like, think about that. If there's anybody, and I work at and I'm not going to talk about my own work, but like when big changes happen at the higher levels.
Yeah, it's rare to see people stay through a
bunch
of
is this mug somehow survived through all of that.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna all of a sudden not become
I'm with them. I'm
defender after one bad game. Shout out to my
I got
boy.
a Bradley Bozeman story that I'm not going to tell on the podcast. It's actually a great story about how great of a person he is. I just remembered his name because this name, I don't know who this person is.
Shamar Bartholomew. Corner Shamar Bartholomew. The Panthers waived Bartholomew off waivers from the New York Jets at roster cutdowns last year. They kept the undrafted free agent all around all season because they liked his length and potential. But the 6'1", 200-pounder has been passed on the depth chart by Thornton, even though that is not true. But he looked at the chart, and Bartholomew Shamar is higher than Thornton.
That's Mike K's.
It sucks. That should not be that way.
K's. All right, so that was Mike K's chart that we put up. This is risers and fallers from Joe Parsons.
But no, the chart that we put up was the official depth chart. That was from the Panthers.
Oh.
Yeah, so Bartholomew is listed ahead of him. But Tony Dunn, that's it, man. The only thing we have left is to remind you all that we will be live streaming.
Yeah, we got a couple of more things. We got a live stream. We also got to sell some merch right here because we sold one shirt last month.
Talk it up.
All right, well, put them up. Put the pictures up. They're in
Get them shirts.
Look, we're gonna do the giveaway. Look, we're 1 week behind because I went on vacation. We're gonna be doing the giveaway. We got.
We're doing that now or next week?
No, we're gonna do it the 4th week this week.
Dude, what you say? Okay, yeah.
The 3rd Tuesday is when we're doing it every month. But I went on vacation. We got delayed. So the 4th Tuesday of this month, giving away the historic fan art. It's actually, hold on here. Hold on 1 second. Hey,
do that.
No, sell the shirt. Tell them this. It's just we sold one shirt last month. Literally, we sold one shirt last month. But the coffee mug is where it's at. At least we don't push our shit enough. That's the problem.
Hey man, look, go to CarolinaCatChronicles.com and let everybody know that you are a member of the C3 Legion, man. C3 Panthers Podcast, strong. And listen, you want to start your day with a hot cup of Joe, and that's the perfect mug for you to use, baby. C3 Panthers Podcast. We still got the Shut the Hell Up Panther Pickle shirts. We still got the You Make Me Sick.
Yeah,
Jeep
no, you got
shirts.
Panthers Podcast, the C3 Panthers Podcast shirt, the Panthers Podcast mug is where it's at. All right,
these are the ones.
And I'm sorry because my ass teaches. I work all year long, 12-month employee. I know you call me a teacher. I don't get summers off. I work all. I get 10 days off. I took them off. All right. So, not the third Tuesday of this month, the fourth Tuesday. We're pushing it back 1 month. You're getting a piece of historic Panther memorabilia. This was pulled off the wall of Bank of America Stadium. Right? Metal, hardcore.
I'll put you up here.
Look, metal. Look, the backing is still on. It was pulled off during the renovations. This is historic Panther memorabilia. Right? We're going to give you this fan cave sign. And I'm going to throw in a t-shirt. I want to get a little runway on it. So not next Tuesday, the following Tuesday. Look for the tweets coming out in the next 2 days. Y'all know how to win. You retweet, you do all those things. Those things. That right there. It's coming.
Hey man, get you that Panther swag. Awesome stuff there, man. Now that I have that other picture that we took at FanFest, I need to Studio Ghibli that too, to the AI filter. But this
don't do the AI filter. Do you know how mad? Did you see what it did? We won't talk. We'll talk about it another night.
We'll have to talk
what
about
it did to me, making me angry. All right, we gotta ice some fools up.
Yeah, and then I got I have a bunch of dope ass ice ups. So let's get to it. I wanted to remind people that this Saturday we will be live streaming during the preseason game this Saturday at 1 p.m. We're gonna do it a free for all format too. So anybody who wants to jump on, be a part of the show, come on with it, man. React with us. Panthers versus the Houston Texans. Right now, the Texans are listed to win on the money line. There are -3 on the point spread. And most people are taking over 38 total points, which is sort of stupid to me. But
all right,
man.
It's time for the longest running segment on the longest running Panthers podcast. It's our homage to Steve Smith. Let's ice some fools.
Ice up, son.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
You know what we do? We reach out outside of football, outside of whatever. We can ice up our families, ourselves, you, me, the guy beside me, guy this way. Whatever we want to do. It's our homage to Steve Smith, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up, to get it together. It sounds like Cody Lack got some shit to bring.
Oh, dude, I'm ready. 5 of
you.
them.
You know what? Carry this ice up, Smith.
Dude, I am. I have enough. I have enough ice ups for everyone.
Run it. Just run it for us, bro.
No, Tony, we were talking about the Savannah bananas, and they've been killing it. Well, one of the bananas went on CNN. Oh shit, huh? And he was decidedly not killing it. Fucking hell, get the fuck off.
That's all right.
This dude.
So he can throw a backhanded first double play.
Yeah, but doing a backflip on CNN, however.
Oh Jesus.
That what you just saw there.
Look at her
is
face.
A brand new twist on
banana.
a pass.
He broke his banana.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
my gosh.
Oh, that dude is going to be feeling.
All right, what you got next for us?
Oh gosh.
My next one. Tony, this is hilarious. This made me think of you.
Oh my god.
Because to me, this is something that I could see a drunk as fuck Tony Dunn doing.
Man, I'm drunk.
Oh yeah, right.
Podcast when I'm drunk.
Former NBA player was caught on camera. One had to check some, scratching his ass. Then
Oh, he sniffed.
smells it, and then wipes it on the wall, dude. He wiped it on the wall.
Why does that make you think of me?
To
Dick
me,
face.
that's tone done activity, bro.
No, not at
dude,
all.
You're gonna tell me you've never, done a check, sniffed it, and then just
I never wiped it on the wall.
no one believes you. Just know that. All right. Let's see. We're almost there.
All right.
So, how about there was a roller coaster, and they got stuck, and they had to make people walk down the roller coaster.
Forever up there. Okay.
But imagine you're up there and you're trying not to slip and bust your ass after a roller coaster just
please don't
ran
say
you.
someone slipped.
Two more.
Yeah.
So this
I
dude-
think he's icing up. We're icing up Cody now. CK.
This dude, he won a NASCAR race, and he goes to celebrate. And let's just say it didn't go as planned.
Let's go down to Mobile One Victory Lane, Dylan.
Oh, knocked himself unconscious.
Unconscious. Oh my God.
out.
It's one thing to fall, but to be knocked out.
Watch. Oh, he is out, dude. He's doing the finger stretches too.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah, he's fine though. He posted on Twitter after. And then last but not least, CD Lamb during their first preseason game. Did you see? Okay. CD Lamb. He's celebrating one of his teammates about to make a play.
Jonathan Mingo, by the way.
Yep. Watch this.
It's Mango.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Mingo
the
right there.
referee run around.
Does he
right
catch
into
it?
him. You missed it, Tom.
No, does Mango catch it?
Who gives a fuck? Look at the referee.
I care.
Just run right into fucking CD Lamb on the sideline. Yeah, he's so happy, and then just boom. That referee had no awareness as to where he was going. So all of
And he got a
those,
flag. Yep.
yeah. All of those
CK.
are indeed my assets.
Nice up. What you got,
Yeah.
CK?
Yeah, I got one, and this is mainly because of what we just had to endure. This is something that I know that somebody is not interested in seeing.
But then why are you showing it?
Yeah, go ahead and show that there, Cody.
Oh, son of a bitch, dude. You're an asshole, bro. You're an asshole, dude.
I sub Cody.
You're a fucking asshole. Son of a bitch.
These rabbits have like some sort of virus or something like that from like insects, and so these are all over Twitter. Just these like rabbits with these grown like they're tumors. And from what I'm read, like there's people saying that this is like don't touch these guys, they're like dangerous. It's not dangerous to humans from everything I've seen. So not that you're going to want to go petting some rabbits that have the Last of Us infection. I sent up Cody with a picture that he absolutely hates to have to see.
I should have never said anything to you.
I know, dude. The moment you did it, I was like, oh man.
My ice up just goes against feeling bad about taking a couple of days off from work and from life, because I took a couple of days off from work and life. I put my phone, I literally turned it off completely. And then I'm like, oh God, my mom called. Like all this. My ice up is this is, you know what is, we aren't available, but we don't have to be instantly available. And I love you, Mom. I wasn't trying to call you out. That was just an example I would use because I knew you wouldn't hate me for it. But damn it, folks. Can we not just take 48 hours to reset? That's it. It's like, fuck. I mean, like, why didn't you respond to my email? Why didn't you respond to my text? I love you all. I want to respond to you all. And I'm not talking about y'all listen to this podcast, but damn it, can we not just have a moment where we watch a moon or a sun or just chill for a second?
Yeah. No, Tony, I mean, I think we all agree. That's incredibly important. But next time you leave us for more than a day or two, we are absolutely going to throw hands.
I know. I feel like that. I'm sorry. I put actually, I think I did do it for more than 2 days. I extended it for 4 days, and you guys were like, "What the fuck?" Not you guys, but kind of.
No, don't fucking put
no,
that
it
on
wasn't
me.
y'all. It was
I
like,
barely
it was
texted
just like,
you.
damn it. Like, man, can I just disconnect for 48 hours? So I set up to connection. I want to disconnect, and
excuse me.
That's it. The hat. People been icing my hat up all in the chat. I thought it was a Titleist hat when I
They
bought
like
it.
your titties.
No, my friend bought it for me. I thought it was a golf hat.
What do you think that says?
I thought
Titleist.
it said Titleist.
What?
Thank
No,
you.
dude.
Yeah, this is it's intended to be a Titleist mimic. So that's basically the exact writing that Titleist has on their heads.
Thank you, CK.
And
No,
it's
titties, dude.
it definitely is titties. Don't get me wrong, but it's meant to play off of Titleist.
I set up for reading. CK, I love you. Cody, take us out of here.
C3 Legion this Saturday, or no, this Friday for the free for all.
Yeah,
I'm
and
joining.
then Saturday.
Then Saturday for the preseason game. Keep pounding.